Happy Sunday. Happy Osiris League Sunday to all of those who celebrate. And for those who do enjoy some early season Osiris League action, thank you for picking my stream as the place to consume it here at 13 UTC. We are getting up bright and early for this one, and we've got people trying to join the Alliance, and the place is full. We've got a stream that we need to share out in a couple of spots. We've got our web browser on the wrong monitor. We're getting started mostly on time here, guys, so I'm doing better than I usually do. If you can throw a like on the stream here very early on, that'll help spread the word a little bit. Share this out with your friends. Oh, you know what? I just rebooted my computer and I don't have Discord open, so you might see my Discord here as well. There's the Discord. We move it over as quickly as we can. We don't want anybody to see the DMs. There we go. Okay. But yeah, listen, guys, we've got a really good match on our hands. We're going to watch 1093 kick off their Osiris League season. This is the 1093B team, and they are playing a very, very strong opponent in 1316. If you look at the betting odds for this one, it's pretty much dead even. I thought about doing this match, the 3672 match. This one's a little bit more one-sided as far as the Oryx go. With the 1093 match, they are the underdog. You see that 1316 has a very substantial power advantage here. But I think we'll see 1093, you know, give it their all here. I don't think they would hold anything back in a match like this, and so it'll be very interesting to see how a very well-organized ARC team like 93X does from the underdog role, right? Are they going to take any sort of risks that they would not take in a straight-up match? Whether that's trying to take the obelisk early on, whether that's trying to really maximize your extra skill points by using the gathering skills, or whether it's going to be using something like Inferno mid to try to swing a mid fight against what I imagine is a very whale-heavy 16 OT team. The gathering skill I was referring to is stocking up. I just blanked on that one for a moment. And yeah, listen, if people are in the chat, do say hello. We want to make this stream interactive with everybody. So yeah, just say hello, and we are going to kick this thing off pretty soon here. Let's see exactly when we're going to be able to get into this match. They say it's going to kick off at 13 UTC. I think there's a delay, though, so we might have to wait a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and throw the bell on a couple of the matches that we are thinking about watching. They're both going to be in the realm of Horus. And as far as our bets go, we did place a little bit of money on War. And I believe we bet on 16 OT as well. I mean, I think 16 OT is going to win the match if I had to pick a side. So yeah, we have got a little bit of action on 16 OT as well. So if you followed my bets from the video earlier in the week, then you will be able to sweat the action here, because we're going to directly watch the matches that we have some action on. Other than that, you know, this is a good chance to get caught up with what's happening in my life in Rock. You know, we've been chilling in the home kingdom now for about a month. I haven't played a ton. I've kind of been paying attention to some other things. You can see that my farm was actually so inactive that it looks like it got kicked out of the Alliance here. Looks like a bunch of snow farms are trying to get in, so we are going to make some space for Jon Snow, because he's probably going to be doing a bunch of forts right now. That's probably his plan with all these farms that are joining the Alliance. In the off-season, you do want to do a lot of 1+1 barbarian forts. That's a great way to get some extra speed ups for you and everyone in your Alliance. Now, I'm streaming, so I'm like not being fair about, you know, who is getting kicked here. I like to spread the love a little bit and kick whoever has like a ton of farms in the main alliance, but like I'm on stream, so I'm just going to kick the 3 lowest power ones. It's fine. And then I guess we can let John in. Or it looks like he did already get in, so. We'll go ahead and start a rally here and see if anybody joins it. Like I said, I have been a little bit... I've been a little low activity lately, and the way you can tell that is that for the 7K gem event, which is like such a good event to always do, you can see that I came up a little bit short here. I came up just a little bit short on level 25, so I am going to have to spend the $9.99 later today to unlock this last tier. It's going to be good value for the 10 bucks. I'll be getting 15 gold heads and 2K gems right off the bat, so that's really like 17 gold heads basically. And then I'll get all this other stuff too, which is not amazing rewards, but all in all, it's a good 10 bucks to spend if you've dropped the ball and didn't complete the Midsummer Magic. And you can see that I'm also like not really killing it with the Melon Mall either. Didn't get a ton done with the Melon Mall. Won't be able to get the gold head. I suppose I should buy these random armament chests with what I have left, but yeah, it's just been one of those, you know, been one of those stretches. I tell myself that I'm resting for a big KVK we have coming up. And it's true that I've been resting, but I don't know that it's like a planned strategy. It's just the way it played out. We did register for Heroic Anthem. A lot of people registered for Heroic Anthem. I think all the really big kingdoms registered for it. Not really sure exactly who went for Orleans. We decided not to do Orleans because we felt like with so many people going to Heroic Anthem, we would probably not get thrown into the biggest KVK. And with so few kingdoms entering Orleans, there's like more chance for you to get into a bad matchup where you really aren't equal to the people you're on a map with. So I think we made a good decision to do HA this time. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the matchup ends up being. Let me go ahead and share this stream out real quick here. Thank you all for watching. Glad to see that we've got getting some viewers in here real quick. And we will get into this match ASAP. I think we have about 10 minutes before the match kicks off. So if you will just permit me one moment to share my stream in a couple of places. There we go. Boom, boom. Pretty sure, you know, more professional YouTubers than me have this stuff automated because I don't see too many YouTubers sharing their links out right at the start of their streams, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Now there was one, I don't know, one of my alliance mates found this like proposed, it was almost like an AI generated matchup for, it was almost an AI generated way to figure out a matchup for this Heroic Anthem pop. I'll try to show it to you if I can find it here. It's like the craziest matchup ever. It's like, it's the biggest camps ever. Yeah, I found it. Here it is. I guess I can just bring it over. Yeah, so this is what my alliance mate found on some Discord for like what the matchup is going to be for this Heroic Anthem. You can see that we're here in Earth Camp. Our camp has 7.1 trillion KP. We've got 2489 and 1592 in our camp. And then, but we're also one of like the smallest kingdoms on this whole map. There's like a few that are smaller. Here's Fire Camp with 1093. And then 1093's camp doesn't look that strong, honestly. It looks like once again 2489 got the stronger camp. Down here in Wind, you've got 3308 and 3672. So they put, you know, two of the more top-heavy kingdoms in terms of like both of these kingdoms have like really, really big whales into Wind Camp down here. They've got 7.6 trillion KP. And then Water, the juggernaut of the entire KVK, you've got 2359 and 1981, so two gold Imperiums. And then 2387, which has almost a trillion KP, and 3526, which also has a ton of KP. I don't know. This matchup was like, for a second, it looked so official that I was like, are they really gonna do this? And then I was like, wait a minute, these camps are the biggest camps that would ever exist in a Rise of Kingdoms Lost Kingdom before. So I really don't think this is gonna be the matchup. But this will give you a sense of some of the kingdoms that are registered for Heroic Anthem. Now, if we go by the biggest kingdoms, we could have a matchup where it's just 4 kingdoms on a map. It would be 3308, 2359, 2489, and 1093. That looks like a pretty good... They should just do that. I think they should just do that. I think they should put those 4 kingdoms on a map together, have no campmates, and let them duke it out. I'm sure they can find a fair-ish matchup here. I don't know what it would be because I don't know these kingdoms well enough. You know, like, is 1093 stronger than 2489? They both lost players in the offseason, so I don't know. Is 3308 stronger than 2359 with Mr. Hope and Wild Lion? I would think so. I mean, didn't 3308 just beat 2359 in the last KVK? So I would think 3308 is bigger than 2359 or stronger than 2359. And then maybe you put like 1093 with 3308, put 2049 with 2359. I don't know. Could be a matchup. Irrigandir, how's it going? Dan Kush, what's going on? Frost. You know, my concern when I look at a matchup like this is that, like, what's the second KV? Like, what's the second map, right? That's my concern when I look at this. Because it's like the second map would be like 1981, 3672, but then you get into trouble with the other camps, right? Like 1592 can't really compete with those 2 kingdoms. So like you throw some other A kingdoms in there, and all of a sudden I'm like, we're probably getting thrown in that one. You know, like we're probably getting thrown in there. So I don't know. These might not be all the kingdoms that registered, but I'm starting to think maybe we're going to be thrown onto a map with 3672 and 1981. And that's definitely scary. Definitely scary. When you have no idea what the piloting rules are, like literally no clue what the piloting rules are, that's very scary for sure. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say anything about our kingdom's preparation. I will say that we're not like super well prepared. I mean, we're fat. We're definitely very fat, but, and you know, our migration was like okay. Here's Radic. Radic's one of the players who we did bring in the off season, and you know, he's got like just solid stats for a kingdom like ours. You know, good arc record, decent kill points, like nothing amazing. These are kind of like our standard type recruits. I mean, he's a little fat at 116 million power, but you know. No, Ghost, 1981 was on there. 1981 was definitely on there. Yeah, Frost, I agree. I think something like that. I'm sure they can figure it out, right? I'm sure they can figure it out. All right, let's take a look if we can get in this match already. Looks like maybe we can. We get in this thing already? Nope, not yet. So we can get into Bastet. We can spectate Bastet. Can we spectate Anubis? No. Why can't we spectate Horus, bro? Oh, here we go. All right, cool. All right, let's jump in. 1093 versus 1316. 3 minutes. We still got 3 minutes. All right. What else to say with my account in 3 minutes? Well, I do need to buy some bundles so I can summon these guys. I'm gonna do a whole purchase situation after this stream and do some amount of this Road to Greatness. You know, resupply my supply depot. The gem supply is running out today. So we're gonna probably put in about 60, 70 bucks into the game right after this stream. We've got our own Osiris League match in 7 hours, so I've got to do this strategy for that. Look at Discord DMs. All right. Frost. Okay. Yeah, we might be able to talk for a little bit after the stream. And then as far as my account, I've just been saving up the gold heads, and I am thinking about maxing Vercingetorix. I'm gonna unlock him at least for this Mightiest Governor. I'm hoping to get a bunch of gold heads. This will be something that I discuss with my fellow officers, after our arc match probably. But I'm thinking of maxing Vercingetorix for the next KVK as long as the initial testing on him looks good. I am someone who stands at the front of our ball, and so Vercingetorix is like so tanky that I do think he's the kind of guy who could really help me out. Is he not in the game yet? Interesting. So, oh, here he is. Yeah, here he is. Thinking about maxing this guy as soon as he comes out, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, because he's got the shield on the first skill. He gives the shield to other. No, excuse me. He just gives the shield to himself. He's got the 20% damage taken reduction, right? 20% less damage on the third skill. And on his fourth skill, Cornered Beast, he does grant a shield to other allies as well. Yeah, Dan, that's what I'm thinking. I put him with Arthur. I mean, I think I put him with Arthur as my second cav. And then the only question then becomes, do I bench Philip or do I bench Scipio? Do I bench Philip or Scipio? I think I can do okay benching Philip. I don't think it's the end of the world if I bench Philip for like 1 KVK. Well, I don't have Hector. I'm slow building Hector. But yeah, I mean, Frost has a point because I am a Garrison player. It would be nice to have Hector. Haven't made up my mind completely yet, but I like the idea of a tanky commander. I definitely do. All right, so let's see if we can get in this match now. I think we're probably good to go. Yep, we're in. We're in. So let me take the webcam off. I'll put the PFP on. The chat's rocking. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go for the match. Let's see. Both teams teleporting in very slowly. You see a very disciplined approach from both teams here to get their late teleporters into the match first. And here is 16OT, a predominantly Chinese kingdom that has had success in the Osiris League in the past. Seawill, a former Osiris League champion in 1960, is one of the 3 officers here. Tiger, a very familiar name. There are many, many Tigers in the game. But this is going to be very interesting, this match, because 16OT is extremely, extremely formidable against 1093's B team. But 1093... they've been so strong in Osiris League for many years that you have to imagine this secondary team is already practicing quite a bit with their A team to just get both teams in really good shape for Osiris League. So without having any inside info, if I had to bet on it, I would bet that 93X has practiced more than 16OT. Now, I don't really know because you also have to factor in that maybe some of these players, they might have accounts on the Chinese server, and maybe there's a ton of practicing going on there, right? But these 30 players together, maybe I would guess that they have maybe not practiced a ton at this point. And that they will use matches like this to get a lot of their practice in. Now you see TC here as well. TC has 2 accounts, but TC was another very key player and skill caster for 1960. If anybody in the chat knows how many X960 players are on the 16OT team, I would be very interested to know that. So 30 seconds to go before the match. A couple of things I'll be looking for off the bat is I will be very curious to see where these sentries go. I will also be very curious to see whether either of these teams uses energetic at the start. Now, if you have energetic on your bar, it is very good to use it at the start, but a lot of teams these days do not have energetic on the bar. It just does not get used often enough in a world where no mark, the 6-point skill no mark, is such a big factor in Ark of Osiris. So here we go, the Osiris League 2026 season being kicked off here in the round of 32 as we see Seawill speeding out with his double C headed towards one of these obelisks. Let's also see which team gets to their obelisks first, if there's any sort of slight speed advantage for any of these players. Let's kind of watch Seawill here. It looks like he's going to hop through this outpost. That's a good way to do it. I know for me personally, I am clicking around so much at the start of this match that I never managed to hop through the outpost to get to my obelisk. But Seawill either has some of the responsibilities delegated out to other people, or he's just faster at clicking than I am. In any event, both teams rolling out here. You can see both teams are largely holding their sentries. Only one sentry being placed by either team. 93X wanting to see the rollout from 16OT here as far as who's going to go to the outside lane, who's going to stay in the inside lane, and then 16OT doing, as we call it, the Chinese sentry. So many Chinese teams love this sentry. They just sort of get a feel for how many marches are going to each side. And actually, this one's a little bit deeper. They usually put it, I think, closer to the gate, if I'm not wrong. But this one's an interesting one. I feel like you have to do a lot of work to like actually get use for this one. Like, you have to really count the marches or be super good at visualizing the numbers quickly to like get all that much information here. Unless the opponent is just like really weighted to one side. If they're really weighted to one side, it's going to be obvious. But is that worth the sentry? Is that rarity worth the sentry to spot that out? Couple more. This is another traditional spot. We see so far 16OT placing their sentries in very traditional spots, whereas I would say 93X is putting their sentries in abnormal spots, like truly abnormal spots. Frost in the chat noting that 1316 also has a B team. That's a good call out. So both of these kingdoms having two Ark of Osiris teams are able to practice against each other. You can see here the standard sentry, the very standard sentry from 1316 is going to get sniffed out very quickly by 93X. So first blow landed there for 93X. Seawill tested this obelisk. It was found to be full. Let's see how many. Look at this, the full. Oh, they already had the rally in here, but look at the Seawill with the 360k T1 cavalry. Yeah, if you're somebody who gets the front row seat in Ark for your kingdom all the time, you really do need to build a lot of T1 cavalry, just in case it's worth an obelisk steal. Interesting that we saw the Hector here, the David Hector. Interesting. Not David Attila, David Hector in that garrison. And that's the other thing, guys. We're going to see so much meta. We're going to get so much meta information from this match. We are going to see what the 5 open field marches people are using are going to be. We're going to see what the garrisons are. We're going to see what the rallies are. I mean, this is going to be, this hour of play here is going to be absolutely full of information. Like, truly full of information. So if we look at the movement here early, I'm going to... So, and by the way, neither team used energetic. Neither team used energetic. So you can see that the meta has really changed from a couple years ago, where energetic just doesn't get used by either team. 93X, you can see they have a lot of numbers on the outside. Blue has not really committed. It's so interesting, right? Blue is not really committing to which side they want to focus on. But it's all everything Blue was doing was spotted by 93X. So this is a great sentry by 93X here as both teams start to teleport in. And interesting to me that the blue team 16OT is pretty light here on the inside lane. You know, a more amateurish arc teams will almost always flood this inside lane, but you can see with blue, they didn't go too heavy. They're not really contesting this desert altar. They're not really contesting it. And then they're playing very good defense here, right? They know that 93 has a tradition of really focusing the outside lanes. We see it over here as well. Like 93T is trying to be offensive in the outside lanes. And, you know, they definitely like were prepared for it here. 1602 was prepared for it here. And then on this side, they kind of made like a read. They just tried to make a read about where they should go. And a big wipe here. The half effort inside lane push by red team here has now led to blue team having a ton of momentum here where they can do some stuff with these marches. Now, it's interesting that they're heading towards the obelisk. Or they're actually heading towards this city, as if they all want a sad face. But if you had this many marches, and some of them at absolutely full health. I mean, TC has full health right here. I almost wonder if this is some sort of a fake. I don't know, man. I mean, or maybe they're pretending to go to the city and then they're going to swarm the obelisk. I don't know. Okay, they're rotating. Yeah, the fresh marches are just going to rotate, I think. So, yeah, blue looking pretty good so far. Red team holding their own buildings for the most part, but the sky altar did get flipped here briefly. Looks like there just wasn't a lot of fillers here. Looks like this thing was empty, and 16OT did get the first jump in on this. Not the first capture, but the first jump in. And now the players who have won the fight at the desert altar are doing a very productive rotation over to this building. And so this is going to be, I think this is good. This is early trouble for the red team here, as they don't have the building. There's a garrison in it, and now 16OT can actually fill up this building. They can truly fill up this building. And let's see if there's the rally up here. Let's see if they've got the rally up. They must have the rally up. I mean, they've got rallies on 3 of the altars, so you know there's a rally headed toward this building. But 16OT, first of all, they are 1 minute away from getting the first capture. And second of all, they're going to disrupt the mid approach for 93X. The mid approach is going to be compromised because these players who are going to have to... I mean, this first capture is now in deep trouble. At this point, the first capture is in deep trouble. Where's this rally? Here comes the rally. It's not full. You can see that 93X is a little bit flustered by everything that happened here on the top side, where they just didn't get the building. It was kind of an unforced error here to not jump in the building immediately at this sky altar. And they also sort of overextended, right? Like 93X also overextended heading towards this Shrine of Life. And so this is now very big trouble for 93X. They did not get the full rally. They've got the QSH primary here. And let's see what happens. It looks like the first capture will be in favor of 16OT. I don't think there's any question about that. Now the question is just which of these two teams, which of all these players that we're looking at now, which of these marches will make it to mid, which spawns in 4 minutes. So as we are watching this fight at the Sky Altar, I'm sure we are seeing very heavy rotations towards the mid. Although if you look at the mini-map on the top left that I'm kind of expanding out now, you can see that a lot of buildings are flashing. So there might be some pretty big attacks elsewhere. 93X does flip the building. This is going to be after the first capture. 16OT locks in the first capture. Now 93 gets the building. They needed that. They absolutely needed it. Now, look at this player. Ronin here. Full marches that helped clear it. They were thinking about going forward, and now they just have to get on their stick, I think, and head towards mid, unless 93X has something planned up their sleeve. Look at this. A group of players camping here. There really wouldn't be much reason to camp here unless you were either going for an obelisk play or trying to make a play at this desert altar, and you don't want the enemy to know about it. So, interesting that a couple of players are kind of chilling out here, but let's see what's happening on the rest of the map. Both teams mobilizing heavily to mid. Shrine of Life also got flipped here by Dr. Pot. a big whale who I've battled with in the past, Dr. Pot here, very efficiently taking this Shrine of Life with his teammates. And now again, the disruption, the heavy disruption of the mid approach for 93X. And when you factor in that 93X has the weaker accounts, which we can already see in this match, we already see that 16OT, they have a very significant advantage in the ratio here. So listen, guys, I do want to stick to this match. I am going to stick to this match because I want to see what 93X does from the underdog role. When you are the team that is losing, when you are the weaker team, that is the most challenging situation in Rise of Kingdoms. Whether you're talking KVK or ARC, when you are the weaker side, that is the challenge. And so I do want to see what kind of choices 93X makes here. Now, they didn't really do anything with this little this gathering here. Nothing happened with it. This player, Arslan's safe. They were in the gathering, and now they're just in no man's land, like utter no man's land here for this player. 90 seconds before the arc spawns, 93X aggressively posturing at the temple. However, the numbers from blue look much better than the numbers from red. It looks like blue is really able to mobilize better to this first arc by virtue of them disrupting the building game of the red team. And so the red team, first of all, they have the weaker accounts. Second of all, they've already postured to the temple. And thirdly, they cannot see blue. They have no vision. They have no vision of what's coming other than this one Belisarius March, who is scouting things out pretty well. Like, they're doing a good job of scouting some things out here. Desert Storm by Seawill, softening up the smaller red ball. The smaller red ball of the temple is already getting hit. Desert Storm from both sides. Now, we might see stocking up as well. Desert Storm is they both already used stocking up. So both teams already used stocking up. They've used Desert Storm here. We might see another Desert Storm, or we might see something like To the Death plus Dust Up later on here, as both teams are going to have more than 10 points of skills. They might have about 11 points of skills here. 30 seconds before arc spawns, 16OT getting here just in time. 16OT has looked very strong in this match so far. Very crisp execution in many facets. And here we go. The engagement at the temple. Arc about to spawn. To the Death being cast for 16OT. Heaven's Grace for 93X. Both teams holding back a little bit with their skills mid. They have not dumped the full bar here. So I think that's what's happening here, is that 93X knows they've lost this arc. They know they've lost this arc, and they're just not going to blow their whole wad here with it. So yeah, arc picked up here by the blue team. They're looking very comfortable with the arc. A belly running with it. Doesn't seem to have enough speed to be tier 1, but not sure. It's fast enough, though. This Belisarius is fast enough. And it's just going to get away scot-free. I think it just gets away scot-free here. Nope. They do take it down, but you can see that 16OT has just absolutely wiped 93X. This match is starting to feel like it's not going to be as close as we hoped. 16OT's account strength is very strong here, but also their execution has been quite good. So a couple of cheeky plays here by 93X. They do flip the Desert Altar briefly with what appears to be a rally. They did rally through that. They had and they're using the Scipio Aemilianus Ivar rally against what looks to be David Hector Garrison. So David Hector Garrison's feeling like they are the meta here. And then Killa also swarmed. But you can see here that, you know, if you just outnumber the enemy by a little bit, if you just outnumber them by a little bit, you can flip some of these buildings. They're going to try to flip it again here. So more disruption here from Killa from 93X. It's what you needed to do. You know, if you're 93X, it's what you needed to do. But you're still in deep trouble. And the winners of the mid-fight here, all these marches that won the mid-fight and stayed alive, they're now rotating to this Desert Altar. And interesting choice what they're doing here. They're not going straight for the building. They're first wiping this red defense. numbers here looking relatively even, but blue definitely has better numbers. So blue's going to wipe the field resistance first, and then they are going to go for the building. Irgondir in the chat saying 13-16 looking very good. I agree. They look very good. They look very, very good. And you know what I find interesting, Irgondir, is just how similar this Sky Altar defense looks to a 60 GT Sky Altar defense, right? Like the start of the match, when 16OT just like chilled at their Sky Altar at the start of the match, that just had so many echoes of what 60 GT does at these altars, especially these outer lane altars. They just play defense. They just sit here and play defense. We're seeing it again at this moment. You know, like, I don't think we're going to see a ton of pressure on this Shrine of Life unless the match really gets out of hand. What I think we're going to see is I think we're going to see 16OT never lose this building, right? I think they're just going to be very focused on never losing this building. They know that 1093 has a rep for being effective in the outside, and I think 16OT is just going to make this a medium-sized priority to hold the Sky Altar, and I imagine they will do it the whole match. Now, it's worth noting that this Desert Altar has gotten flipped at least a couple times during that mid. Frost in the chat noting that David Hector is better against rallies, whereas Attila David is better against swarms. Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, the thing is, you do see a lot of swarming in Ark of Osiris, and especially in Osiris League, you see a lot of swarming. So, like, I wasn't sure what the meta garrison was going to be. I knew it was going to be Cav. I knew the meta garrison would be Cav, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be David Hector or Attila David. You know, but it looks like it's David Hector everywhere here. Looks like both teams really prioritizing David Hector here in these garrisons, which is very interesting, and it's, you know, it is another endorsement of Hector, which I think, you know, the community as a whole still has not fully decided whether Hector is good or not. To me, Hector is obviously good. The question is he great? And, you know, in my experience, Gorgo Hector has done very well in garrisons, and, you know, David Hector does very well too. We just sort of like prefer the Attila David. Like, I feel like in so many situations, Attila David's better, so we don't run the David Hector a lot, but it has performed well when we've tested it out. So, you know, but this is really interesting, right? Like, just seeing universal David Hectors. Oh, look at the Hayam. The Hayam garrison here in the Shrine of War. We're going to have to watch this a little bit more as time goes on. The thing about Hayam that is good is that you are seeing a lot of infantry rallies, which is also interesting, right? I thought we might see Cav everything. You know, I thought we might see Attila Subutai rallies and David Hector garrisons. I thought it might just be Cav rallies and garrisons all over the map, wherever you look. But we're actually seeing a lot of infantry rallies so far. Not a ton of archer rallies, mostly infantry rallies. So again, like I predicted that we wouldn't see the Shrine of Life get flipped all that much. I mean, it might get flipped here. I mean, it is going to get flipped here. The Gorgo Hector going down. So interesting that we have a Gorgo over here. You know, maybe we're seeing a little bit of commander weakness from this 1093B team. You know, where maybe they don't have as many David Hectors as would be meta, because it was actually the Gorgo Hector that was in that building and not a full garrison. They did get 2 reigns in during that. So, you know, you can see that they tried to defend that building, but the QSH Shapur rally. So another interesting one, right? It's not Shapur Asher. It's not Shapur primary. With the Archer rallies, we're actually seeing the QSH primary. That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. I might have to mention that to some of my teammates for our match later today. Dan Kush in the chat saying, I think even in these situations, Attila David should be better as every building is swarmed. You know, yeah, I mean... And the other thing, Dan, the other thing about that, Dan, which I kind of agree with you, is that most of the time we see the rally getting swarmed first. What I'm seeing as the meta is that the rally gets swarmed first. We see it already here, right? these red marches, they are not attacking the field. They are attacking the rally. They are attacking the rally, right? So if the rally is going to get swarmed down right away, then what's going to beat you is a swarm. And so, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Dan, but I mean, these teams know better than us. Like, let's just be real about it. These teams have practiced this stuff a lot more than us, and so I assume that they just know what they're doing based on the fact that they've tested it out quite a bit. And they're preferring the David Hector over the Attila David. Kuro saying that 3672 is actually in a bit of trouble. Interesting. I was thinking about casting that match. If it stays close and you guys keep me updated, we might switch to that one later. I do want to watch this match for a while, though, because, I mean, these are just two very top teams, right? These are two very, very top teams. So, like I said, I'm going to try to learn some things in this match that's going to help my own ARC team, right? Like, let's just make sure we see what the marches are behind some of these commanders. If we can see them. Are we not seeing the secondaries here? I'm trying to see what this 16OT player... Okay, so the 16OT player has an Arthur Hector and then an Achilles GG. Okay, so for the two cav marches that this player wants to have in the field, he's using Arthur Hector and Achilles GG. So just worth noting, I think. I mean, I know that's what I know that's like standard, but still, it's good to know, right? Rather than like an Arthur Phillip or an Arthur William, for example. We do see a Joan out here. We do see a Joan. And the secondary with the Joan is going to be the Arthur. So, like, we do see another player preferring the Joan Arthur out here. He probably doesn't have Hector. So if you don't have Hector, it looks like maybe the second cavalry march is going to be Joan Arthur, right? Achilles GG for the first one, and then you use your wedge formation, your wedge 2 formation, for a Joan Arthur secondary march. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if we see some more Joans as this match goes on. Herman out here from Seawill. We also have to see how many Alp Arslans we see, right? Like, here's another thing we want to find out. How many AAs are getting used in this match? And I think we'll figure it out by seeing how many Hermans are out here. And I think, let's be real about it, we haven't seen many Hermans. I mean, we've seen a few. Here's a couple. We see a couple Hermans in this scrum right here. And Dan Kush saying that 1093 is running Huo Arthur. So yeah, one team running Joan Arthur, the other team running Huo Arthur. We see some Huo Arthurs from 16OT as well. It looks like Huo is getting more run than Joan. It looks like Huo's getting more run than Joan. Which is definitely interesting because with Joan, you've got the AoE and the added damage. With Huo, you've got a march speed slow and you have some healing. So I think it's pretty interesting that they're going with the Huo over the Joan. I mean, you see way more Huos. I mean, you see a ton of Huos out here. Like, you see a lot of Huos here in this match. But thank you all for watching. This is fantastic. Love having 50 plus people watching the stream. Do throw a like on this stream if you are enjoying it. Really glad to see that so many people are up and at 'em for this early morning Osiris League action. You all are exceeding my expectations here, and I will announce here very proudly that I will be casting on the official Rise of Kingdoms channel later on in the Osiris League. We're just getting warmed up on my own channel with some preliminary action. This is not the round of 32. This is preliminary action. Dan, are you saying that he's still running Tommy? No, he's got to have switched to Alp Arslan here. For Kuro, it's afternoon. For many in Europe, it's the afternoon. I'll be honest, it feels like the afternoon to me, guys, because I woke up at about 8 UTC today. I woke up at 8 UTC, so I'm feeling pretty good too. But let's look at the map here, and let's think about the arc. So they did turn in the arc. They're holding the arc, right? They're holding the arc. Neither team has cast no mark. Very interesting. Neither team cast no mark. Looks like there's a bit of a bug here with the skill log. The skill log not showing the times. Not showing the times here for when the skills get cast. So I'll point that out to Lilith. Maybe they can fix that up real quick. But yeah, holding the arc, and then so for 1093, their skill bar is a little more filled up, and both teams are using stocking up here. Not super surprised that 1093 has not cast no mark, but it is a problem for 1093 that they have not cast no mark, because a couple things have happened here, right? Number one, 1316, they used more skill points for the mid. They used 9 skill points versus the 7 for 93X. So already 93X has more skill points available. They're also losing, and so therefore they're regenerating skill points faster. So at this point, we probably have a situation where 93X has probably 3 or 4 more skill points than 1316. We also saw the skill bar flash there for a moment, which means that some gatherers returned home and gave them some stocking up points. So it is not out of the question that 93X uses no mark here and then hopes to still have enough skill points for the second mid. If they're already returning gatherers for stocking up, they might be planning to use no mark. I just wonder why they wouldn't use it yet. Like, the only reason I think they're not going to use no mark is because they have not cast it yet, because they definitely have 6 skill points. But we'll see. We'll see. At this point on the bottom side, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to look at the first monster, guys. There's so many things to learn. There's so many things to learn watching this match that we forgot to learn some of it. So the Arc does get returned by 16 OT. So next Arc in 8 minutes. They waited for almost the whole countdown. And it's so interesting to me that 1316 is waiting with the Arc. 93X is waiting with their skill bar. Both of the and they have stocking up. So both teams are likely going to have capped skill bars for this next mid before you even get to the stocking up. Also, so interesting that 93X has been returning gatherers already. I mean, their skill bar is probably close to being at 10 already right now. And so do they just spend the next 7 minutes with a full skill bar? That seems very suboptimal to me. We're getting reports from Kuro that Hayam is being used in a shrine. We saw Hayam here. Yeah, the Hayam is getting run. Like, the Hayam is getting run here. In some of these buildings. The Hayam is definitely getting some run in these buildings. I mean, it's the meta garrison for this building from 93X. Hayam Heraclius. So Heraclius getting a second life here with the new Archer Garrison, Hayam. But we are mainly seeing David Hector's for most of this. And guys, we have a very interesting scenario here, right? I've talked about the skill bars. I've talked about the fact that the skill bars are getting very fat, very bloated and overweighted right now. But here's another situation that we've got, a very unique situation. The Arc is going to spawn in 6 minutes, but the monsters are going to spawn in 5 to 6 minutes. This monster is basically going to spawn at the same time as the Arc, and then this monster over here is going to spawn a minute and a half before the Arc. So I am very curious to see how these two teams navigate this situation. I can tell you right now that 93X, they do not want to lose their buildings here in the next couple minutes. They do not want to be disrupted over here. Now, I think it's interesting that they're attacking over here. I probably would not attack. I would probably just play straight up defense, because basically, as the team in red, you have a slight advantage towards this monster down here at the Altar of Anubis, because you're closer to it. Your obelisk is closer than the blue team's obelisk. So they have a natural advantage at this monster, and I just wonder, you know, they want to focus on it. I'm sure they want to take this monster, but they can't let their buildings get flipped. They just can't let their buildings get flipped. But what you are seeing is some offense. You are seeing offense from 93X here. They took back their buildings a couple minutes ago, and they've just got some marches that are left over from that take back. This doesn't look like a serious attack to me, honestly. I mean, it looks serious, but I don't think it is. I do not think it is a serious attack, right? Because first of all, there's plenty of defense. Second of all, a lot of these marches are half health. And thirdly, the rally's just coming out now. Now, we could say that these marches are softening up some of the defense, and that's quite productive. It is quite productive what these marches are doing. And now here's the Attila. Here's the Attila in this building now. Did they switch it, or has it always been Attila? It looks like this one has always been Attila, right? Yeah, this one's always been Attila David. So 16OT is using Attila David in some of these marches, in some of these buildings as well. So here's Nico, one of the kings of 1093. Nico here on the B team, running the Huo and running the Arthur. Let's see what Nico has here in the field. Arthur, Achilles. So I'd say that's non-meta. Isn't Achilles the well? I don't know. I don't know enough about commanders. I guess Arthur would have to be the primary. I guess it's true that Arthur would have to be the primary. So I guess that is meta. And then what's behind this Huo though? I'm dying to know who's behind the Huo. I guess it's probably Joan. I guess it's probably just Joan that's behind this Huo. If he ever casts a skill, we're not even going to see. We're not even going to see. So here we go. You know, like I said, this was a serious attack by 93X on this Sky Altar, but I just did not feel like this was an attack that was going to work. The defense from 16OT is simply too staunch at this building. This is a building that 60GT in the past would frequently hold super consistently, and now some of these ex-60GT players who are working this bottom side, like Seawill, they are also just like setting a precedent to just not lose this Sky Altar. So Monster spawns in two minutes. Arc spawns in 3 minutes. We see that the red team is rotating early to mid. An early rotation by red team to mid. And then so this monster is in an interesting spot. Very interesting spot here. So it looks like Corny is, Corny has a good position here to see if an enemy comes to the altar. He's going to need some help. He's got some help coming. So this is pretty good. I mean, they're cutting it close. What I would say about what 93X is doing with this monster is they're cutting it close. It looks like they're sending right about 10 marches there, which is going to be enough to kill the monster if they don't get pressured. And for the moment, it doesn't look like they are being pressured. We've just got the one march from Dr. Pot. So 93X walking a bit of a tightrope. They're really micromanaging and optimizing this monster take in 1 minute. At the moment, it looks like they're good to go, though. It looks like they're going to be good to get it with these two players. And look at they both are going to take an aggressive position here in lieu of no vision. They have no vision of the enemy, so they're just going to camp outside. I do like this, right? If you're going to get to the monster early, I do like being here. There's the no mark from 16OT. So 16OT using no mark before the mid. Very interesting. They had the full skill bar. And we know for a fact that 93X has a full skill bar, but they are afraid to use no mark, right? They are afraid to use no mark. They've been really restricted in their skills here. At this point in the match, 16OT has used 15 points to the 7 that 93X has used. Like, they've literally used twice as many skill points, not counting stocking up. Like, forget stocking up. Other than that, 16OT has literally used double the skill points of 93X. And that's just a sort of a new school outplay. That's not a kind of outplay you see in the past before no mark, but in the world of no mark, if you can use it and get away with it, that's a big advantage. So double Desert Storms here, clouding the battlefield, arc spawning in 50 seconds. Let's quickly look over at the monster. Okay, so you see that these 10 marches, they're trying to take it down. Blue just getting here a little bit late. Dr. Pot getting here a little bit late. If he can steal the last hit, he will take the monster. Monster is determined by who gets the last hit. You see that these players now are killing the enemy who comes. This was a well-calibrated attack by 93X. I like what they did here on this monster. They do get the buffs, so that's going to be march speed and a boost to their points. So with the points here, I mean, they're still down quite a bit on points, though, because no mark is active for the other team. But here we go. Mid-fight kicking off here. Mid-spawning in 10 seconds. Red team with the temple. Blue team circling. Spreading out. Blue team big time spreading out here. Is it from a double desert storm? Is that what we're looking at here? No, it's just a sneaky tactics. A sneaky tactics being used by 16OT. And so some of these marches are likely cloaked. We can't tell quite who is cloaked, but the arc has spawned, and it looks like 16OT is basically, what are they doing? They're basically doing a delay on the mid. The no mark was the tell. They're giving up this mid, and they're trying to take all the buildings, and you can see that they are pretty successful at it. They're likely going to take this desert altar with the swarm plus the full rally. You can see, okay, so this was a skip. This was a skipped mid by the blue team. They did it so effectively that they also tricked me. It looked to me like they were taking mid seriously, but ultimately they are just going to skip the second mid. They're going to give it to 93X, and they're just going to take all of 93X's buildings. Wow. And you can see that this is an uncontested monster up here. This is the monster that the blue team has an advantage with. It's closer to their obelisk. And you see, again, you see like 8 or 9 marches that are needed to capture this monster. Here's the buffs on it. 15% more team points for 4 minutes and 20% march speed for 300 seconds. That's the blue outline that you see on some of these marches, is that boosted 20% march speed, which is hugely, hugely advantageous in Arc. It is not just the marches who kill the monster who get that buff. It's all the marches on the map will get that 20% speed boost. So, yeah, pretty interesting choice there by 16OT. You know, they might have been able to just win a straight up mid fight. I'm sure they could have, but you know, I think what they did was very effective, right? Very, very effective. Look at this, 1,377 points per minute, almost the optimal elite number of 1,337. But yeah, super good points per minute by 16OT. Big Daddy, thank you so much for the donation. That is huge. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated by Big Daddy with the very generous donation. Thank you so much, sir. You are a king amongst men. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff here. I mean, kudos to 93X for getting the job done. They were given the advantage for the mid. Now, why don't they cast no mark, right? Like, why doesn't 93X cast no mark now? You almost wonder if it's on their bar. I mean, it has to be, right? I guess they're not casting it because they have no buildings, right? Like, I guess the reason they don't have no mark is because they're lacking buildings. There it is. There's the no mark from 93X. So, yeah, you know, 93X played it as they should have. They took the arc. They cast the no mark. They can now hold the arc and rebuild their skill bar. But I like the play from 16OT as well, right? Like, it was good for them to practice that arc skipped, and I think it was a well-executed arc skip. I think the only part that I would criticize is that they didn't take this monster, right? Like, if you're gonna skip the arc, I think you maybe have to make a play for both monsters. I don't know. But thank you again, Big Daddy. That's awesome, man. And yeah, really glad people are enjoying the Ark of Osiris action. It's a great game mode, guys. It's always been a great game mode. The changes this season are less significant than in past seasons. All they really did was add these 2 monsters, these Altars of Anubis, to the outside of the map, League of Legends style. They might have changed the points on a couple of the skills. I'm not sure. I should know that, but I don't. But I don't think they really made many changes to the skills at all. But these monsters do sort of they add enough. Like, I really think they add enough to the game mode. Like, there's more choices that have to get made. Now, I will say this, and this is probably relevant for teams that are watching this stream to sort of scout out their future opposition. I think it's interesting that 16OT did not go for this monster, right? Like, they kind of knew they were going to skip mid, and they ultimately did send a lot of marches to the sides to take the buildings. So it's interesting to me that they didn't think to go for this monster, right? It almost makes me wonder if teams are going to be like, we're just going to always get our own monster, and we're never really going to mess with the enemy's monster. That's like very different than how lower tier ARC teams play it, right? Like, we compete for basically every monster because we're just like not smart enough to do it any differently than that. So I think it's very interesting that 16OT did not really go for this monster much at all. They just sent one player to it. It just sort of shows something about the temperament of these teams. Kuro, do you mean that the realms are unbalanced in terms of like some realms are tougher than others, or do you mean that like there's there's a lack of parity in the realms where like some teams are way stronger than the other teams in their realm? Because I mean, I thought the realms looked relatively even this year, like relatively so. I mean, 16OT looks pretty good here, right? Like 16OT does look pretty good here. They're going to be the main competition for 93T. We did put our Eye of Talent on 93T yesterday. And if anything is going to go wrong with that Eye of Talent bet, I think it's this team right here that's going to cause us problems, right? Like, they look pretty good. I mean, they don't look perfect, but they look pretty good. So let's look at this. Let's look at this attack here on the Desert Altar. This Desert Altar's started to get in some real trouble. Here's the Herman. Here's the Herman AA from Root. So yeah, we are seeing, you know, we're seeing a moderate amount of Hermans, but it doesn't seem like, well, it's hard to say so far, right? It's hard to say so far. It doesn't look like it's a requirement, right? It does not feel like 2 Archer Marches is a requirement here. But we see a decent number of Hermans on 16OT for sure. Less so on red. Less Hermans on red, I would say. Plenty of QSHs. Look, this rally's staying up here. This rally's staying up. They kept it full. It's still getting swarmed. This Ghost Miracle over here is being left alone to swarm this rally because all the other players are they've switched to the building. They're pressuring the building here. Let's see. I mean, March is still coming in. Here comes Boba trying to get in. Pretty good defense all in all. Pretty good offense and a pretty good defense here. Both teams doing what they're supposed to. Nick reporting that 1718 versus War is very close. So War from 1897 trying to pull the upset special on 1718. Our Oryx are under threat there. In the match that we are watching, our Oryx look pretty safe, but we got to note that the Arc has been returned. 93X knows they need another Arc to win this match potentially. So we are going to have a third Arc, and I mean it's an 8K lead for 16OT. We've got like 1 or 2 gatherers for the red team. We've got, looks like, more gatherers for blue. So more gathering from blue, but obviously both teams have been bringing in gatherers throughout the match to prime their stocking up skill. $3,672 versus $2,666 is super close. So we're gonna call an audible and go to that match, guys. We are gonna go to that match. Let's hope we can get in. We will switch over. Here we go. Very close match here. 2666 versus 3672. So here we go. Let's get a quick okay, so War has the master strategy on the bar. You can see Viet Minh. You can see the Viet Minh impact on this team already. Black Mamba also over here on 3672. So some former 2748 players have now switched over to War, and they are getting a pretty rude awakening to the Osiris League here, as the smaller team, AB from Kingdom 2666, they are really pressuring 3672. Now, we're saying this match is close. However, War has won 3 out of 3 arcs, right? 3 out of 3 arcs. So if they just win the 4th arc, which is going to be worth 4,500 points, I would say that the blue team has a very good chance of winning this. But you got to win it. Yeah, this is a very strong performance. Oh, so this is part of what's happened here. Very interesting. It looks like at some point the obelisk was taken by AB. So AB has been just putting in a lot of pressure onto the obelisk area of 3672. That disruption, I mean, that disruption seems to have at least kept them in this match. Now, look how interesting this is, guys. A rally from these 4 players over here have managed to... well, they haven't really filled up the rally, but at least one guy jumped in. So they're going to try to flip this Shrine of Life here with a rally from the backside. Yeah, 266 has been a strong performer in KVKs for sure. I just wasn't sure what their arc game was like. I was unfamiliar with their arc game. But they're definitely putting out a good show here against 3672. Now, they may fall short here. If I had to bet, I would bet they're falling short. But listen, guys, I mean... Arc's in 2 minutes here. So yeah, you can see the blue team is heavily mobilizing. You can see the blue team has taken all the buildings on this bottom side. They're just pressuring the marches that are trying to get to mid. So they've got vision. I mean, look at this. I mean, blue team is all up in the face of AB right now, trying to secure this last arc and bring home the bacon. 90 seconds though. We'll see what happens. So they've got plenty of time to return this arc. Let's just quickly look at the gathering score. So AB has brought in a lot of gatherers so far in the match using stocking up. You can see that 3672 is not using stocking up, right? Like, listen, guys, stocking up is a very powerful skill, but number one, you have to use it right. And number two, your gatherers have to be well coordinated in terms of when they turn in their resources to get those stocking up points. So, you know, it's not a win button. It's not a like hit this button and win kind of thing with stocking up. It's such a hard skill to use correctly that some top teams like 3672 has chosen to actually just not use it. And I believe that's consistent with Viet Ming's teams in the past. I don't think 2748 used a stocking up last season either. Nick giving an update on the 1718 match. They lead by 500 points, but 1879 still holds arc. So on paper, it sounds like 1879 is in the lead there. So a lot of close matches here in this 13 UTC bracket for the Osiris League here. But if you're AB, you've got to take this arc. You have to win this arc. You're now down about 500 points. It's pretty clear, like, you know, team that grabs this arc wins. What a crazy fight here. Neither team engaging. Both teams just trying to grab the arc. And it's blue team that grabs it. Aaron grabs the arc uncontested. Oof. Well, it might be over, guys. I mean, it might be over just like that. When you get a clean arc run with a full health double C, it's over just like that. So red team just did not want the smoke. They did not want to take the fight. We see why. The sad faces are just completely one-sided here. Oh my gosh. Some of the most one-sided sad faces we've seen in quite a while here, as 3672 just dusted them on that fourth arc. So 8 minutes left in the match. Now buildings are getting flipped to the red team. We have to say buildings are being flipped by the red team. They have all of blue team's outposts, every single one, and they've got their Shrine of War. Now they've lost their own shrine as well, but the outposts are worth some decent points here. They've got a slight lead in the points per minute, but and look, all the gatherers are in. Like, all the gatherers are in for war. So red team is gathering, guys. I mean, this match is not really over. I mean, this match is not really quite over, I would say. Because you just don't know how much gathering is being done here. You just don't know how much... I mean, look at this. We've got 7 gatherers out here for red, 0 gatherers for blue. So, I mean, the gathering score can be pretty substantial. Now, I don't know about all this. I don't know about what this player is doing here. All these several players here are doing. I don't know that you just run into the... I don't know if you run into the mob here. I'd maybe stay back here, right? I'd maybe protect these outposts. This was a pretty juicy score you had here. I would have maybe stayed at these outposts rather than just run in and sad face. I don't know. If I'm playing this match right now, I'm red team, I'm feeling like I'm behind, right? I mean, with the arc in hand, you're basically down about 5,000 points right now. You're down about 5,000 points if you're AB, so the gathering is not going to be enough, right? You're going to get some points from gathering, but you're somehow going to have to flip the building game. And look at this. Look at this. Now the obelisk getting flipped here. Probably not a serious attack, but the obelisk, the empty obelisk being flipped. I'm always amazed at how many professional arc teams leave their obelisks empty. I'm always amazed by that. Like, why not just put one march in there? So, good defense by War. They've got Aang Pro. I mean, there are some big boys in War, guys. Let me just tell you. There are some big boys in here. I mean, some of the players at the highest scores are players I'm not even familiar with. And so, I mean, Aang Pro is down here in 7th place. Kariki's down here in 10th. Another former 2748 player. There's Viet Minh. There's Black Mamba. I was curious to see if Matt Achilles was on this team or not. I guess Matt Achilles is not on this team, but yeah, some very strong whale accounts here in 3672 when you realize that Aang Pro is actually only 7th right now in scoring. So let's see. I mean, is there anywhere that red team can really hang their hat? So monster now. We can watch the monsters. This does give more points. The third monster will give you an extra 2 energy points. And so, you know, in a different world, one of these teams could potentially cast No Mark again. But one thing very interesting to note on both of these bars is that it's actually only War that has Time Warp. Only one of these 2 teams is using Time Warp. So potentially what you could see is you could see War getting some of these monsters and then having enough points to use No Mark again. That's always really powerful. Let's see if they've used No Mark just the once in the match or not. Oh, they've used it twice already. Okay. So yeah, War's already used No Mark twice. So they've already used the Time Warp on it. So look, the score is a 1K lead for blue, but they are also holding the arc. And look at this. Look at the interesting place they're holding it. They're holding it at the desert altar because their obelisk area is not safe. Their obelisk area is just completely not safe. So they've got to hold the arc at the desert altar. Pretty interesting. They can just return it though, guys. There's only 4 minutes left in the match. They can just return it. So this player here is keeping it spicy for us, but I feel like they could have just stepped into the building, no? I mean, now they have to do this very end of game escort to one of these cities. Boy, if all these players could jump out at the same time and ambush this arc, it could get really interesting. I mean, I'd almost break this rally. I would literally break this rally and send them all to the arc carrier. He keeps switching which city he's going to go to even. Banks, how's it going, man? And there's the master strategy from War. Where is this one going? They've lost the arc. I want to watch the warp. Let's look with the warp quickly. They're just going to warp to this Sky Altar. Viet Ming's just like testing things out. Meanwhile, there's 3 minutes left in the match. The Ark is down, but there it does. It gets returned. So War keeping it interesting here till the very last, but they do return the 4th Ark. They've won 4 out of 4 arcs in this match, and that is for sure the key to this one. And then the warp, the last minute warp over to the Sky Altar to add fuel to the fire and expand the final margin of victory in this match. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Both teams have time warp. I'm tripping. I don't know why I didn't see the time warp on red team. Both teams have time warp. Let's just click around real quick and see how many Hermans we see in this match. In terms of how many Alp Arslans we see. Not too many. Not too many. It looks like some people are going with like a 2nd infantry march. I'm trying to figure out what like people are running for the 5th march, right? Obviously, everybody's running 2 cavalry marches, mainly with Huo, right? But what is the 5th march that people are using? You know, you've got the 1 meta infantry march, the 1 meta archer march, and then what's the 5th march? You know, I'm not super clear on it. Obviously, some people are filling. Some people are running Scipio LC. We've seen a couple of Scipio LCs out here. Not seeing any Phillips, guys. I'm not seeing any Phillips on any of these marches. One minute left in the match. The Gatherers, looks like the Gatherers have all come in for red. Let's see how many points they got from gathering. Oh, they didn't have much. At the end, it was just a few, you know, Gatherers who'd only been out for a brief period of time. So nothing big from the gathering score either. It really was that last arc that the game pivoted on. And 3672, they just, they dominated the arc in this match. They absolutely dominated the arc. If we look at the ratio here, the ratio is pretty close. All in all, AB, pretty good showing for AB here, honestly. They had less power than 3672 by about 600 million or whatever that metric is. You know, they were like 20% less power, I think. So, pretty good showing here for AB. And there it is, victory for War. Attila in 2026, some things never change, and Constance is still throwing it down in 2026. The more things change, the more they say that stay the same. AB Kenshin with the MVP, but it is War from Kingdom 3672 who gets the W. You can see they absolutely dominated on Ark of Osiris scores. They also healed way more than AB. AB didn't heal at all, which is interesting. And the kills to severely wounded was not so dominant for 3672 that you would have expected them to win 4 out of 4 arcs. But that is exactly what they did there. So, I mean, there we go. That is... Oops, let me get the... We might have to adjust the webcam a little bit here. I guess we're all right. All right, so there we go. That's that. Listen, guys, I was kind of planning to just do the one match, but honestly, I'm very thankful to Big Daddy for that donation. So we're gonna keep this one going. We're gonna keep this stream going for the next hour, and then at 15 UTC we've got some other matches. We'll have to figure out which one we watch, but we're gonna keep this stream going, guys. So thank you all for being here. Do throw a sub. If you haven't subbed to my channel already, that would be a great way to just make me feel good about the effort I'm putting in on this stream here. As played, it'll probably be about a 3.5 hour stream. So I do very much appreciate the dono from Big Daddy and everyone who is tuning in and watching. I guess let's go through the scores real quick. Okay, so 2965 no-showed their match. That's interesting. 3257 getting a pretty easy win. So War actually did win. Look at this. War pulling the upset against 1718. Wow, that's a big upset. Kudos to War from 1879 for beating 1718. That's a big, big win right there. 61 VL beating Jet 2. And look, we nailed it. We nailed it with OWR, guys. I don't think we did great on our bets. But we did nail it with OWR. We correctly assessed that OWR was going to pull the upset against 748W. So there you go. And look at this. TS24, the team that we lost to. We lost to these guys last week. They lost a very close match to, you know, to PW67. So, I mean, I'm rooting for TS24 to do well in Osiris League because they did beat us last week. And so, like, if they do well, then we kind of, like, we'll know where we stand. If they do poorly, then we'll kind of be like, oh, maybe we're bad, you know? So okay, so that's Bastet. Let's take a look at Anubis. I guess Anubis has every match at 15 UTC. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Annie, welcome to the game. If you have any early game questions, I'll do the best I can to help you. I'm not by no means an expert on the early game, but between me and the people in the chat, we can probably help you out. Is it okay to play if you don't spend? Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely play Rise of Kingdoms without spending. That is for sure. You know, you're not going to do as well as the people who do spend, but, you know, listen, at the end of the day, Annie, there are people in this chat who are free to play, who are extremely good players, right? They're super involved in the community, and they're very involved in the kingdoms that they're in, and they do it because they are able to be successful because they put a lot of time into the game, and they also play the game very smart. So if you can put time and energy into Rise of Kingdoms, and you can actually play it smart, then you can have a ton of success as a free-to-play. Now, the hard part there really is the time. You're going to have to put in a lot of time, because this game is rather competitive, and it's very demanding of time. So you will need to put in the effort if you're not going to spend. First to last in the chat saying just city hop with Harold Alex. You know, guys, obviously now we know about city hopping. A lot of people call it cheeseburgering. I'm going to tell you right now, the player first last who is in the chat, he was a alliance mate of mine in the early days of the game. And I built Richard Charles as my first march, and then he also built Richard Charles as his first march. And in the original KVK, like the first KVK that this game ever had, this player first last, he would hide in cities, and then he would jump out of his city with Richard Charles and attack people and get good trades. Now, I'm not saying that he invented city hopping, but I am saying it's possible he invented city hopping, because he was the first person I ever saw do it, and this was in the very first KVK. Like, literally the first KVK ever, he was city hopping with Richard Charles. So, he might have invented it. He might have invented the technique. I'm just saying. And he's in the chat right now. Mix, I should give you mod, man. I'll give you mod in this chat. I mean, if you know, if you're like one of my OG people that I played this game with, I might as well give you mod for the channel. Even though, you know, even though you haven't played in years. To be honest, I should give a bunch of people here mod. To be honest. Curl saying city hopping and cheeseburgering are something different. How are they different? I don't think they're different. I thought they were the same thing. I'll probably have to figure out the mod thing later, but But yeah, thanks. Glad to have you here. So let's see if we have ranked champions of Olympia still going. We do. Okay, so we can play some Olympia. I'm just gonna jump in some Olympia. We can talk about whatever in the chat, but is this still? Yeah, I guess this is still meta. Yeah. All right, we'll play some Olympia while we wait for the next match, and then we're gonna have to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out what match to watch at 15 UTC. Burrow is saying that cheeseburgering is multiple marches. I never thought that's true. I always thought cheeseburgering was literally just Chisgle's word for city hopping. I think that Chisgle used the term cheeseburgering for like one march that's jumping out of cities, right? Kuro, I think what you're describing is something much more specific and like not necessarily something I see a lot of. Oh, Akshay saying that Matt Achilles sold all his accounts a few months ago and now bought a super account in 2489. Interesting. All right, so we got the Apple map. Let me just go mid. Let me just go mid with it. Let's go mid with it, guys. I don't know. This guy's marches are scuffed, so I'm going to boost him, I guess. All right, so... All right, we put the stream up there, because then I can... I think we're, like, getting this for free? No. I'm just going to gather with my... Oh, it's the Sun Tzu that's gathering. They're leaving him alone. I might just grab this thing. Oh, so one of them grabbed it? Oh, one of our guys grabbed it. Okay. I should have used this a long time ago, whatever. All right. Now he wants to go here. I'm gonna boost the Lancelot. Dude, this guy's got a look at this guy's marches, man. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send the Sun Tzu here, get this bonus. And then I'm gonna send everybody else to this. We are gonna have a fight here. We are gonna, you know what, I need to get here quicker, I think. We need to keep this thing secured so that our friend with the Lancelot can return this thing. Yeah, he delivered the apple. That's good. Now we'll just kill all these guys off and then maybe go back to the apple here. Apple spawning again in 30 seconds, so maybe we'll just go back to it. Looks like we're crushing them. Looks like it's an easy win for the good guys. I guess I'll heal. I'm going to send the Sun Tzu already. So we'll chase him off. I don't think this guy can kill everybody. I think we have too many people gathering. I think I think our Lancelot friend is gonna grab it again. There he goes. Look at this dude. He's speeding. He's speeding. You know, we had someone in the chat asking earlier, can you play this game for free? I think this Lancelot player is showing right now you can play the game for free. He's got really bad marches, but he's playing a role. He's playing a role. He's grabbed both arcs, or both apples. Now, I don't know what happened to that apple. Did he return it that fast? Holy smokes. All right, we'll switch to the Huo now. One of these days I need to set up presets for these for other troop types. All I do is run this leadership combo. I kind of want to try archers out because I feel like archers hit very, very hard in Arc. Or not in Arc, in Champions of Olympia. So I probably just die here. I just die here. I'll give a boost to my teammates. Maybe they'll hold them off. The apple is up. I don't know if anybody's at the apple. Yeah, so people are saying that Mad Achilles maybe got an account in 2489, but maybe he's going to 3308 soon. He used to be in 3308. We actually beat... I have a video showing a clip of us fighting Mad Achilles when he was on 3308's Arc team. So yeah, he used to be in 3308. Look, I mean, the vibe that I'm getting from the whole piloting thing is that they're going to try to like crack down on mass piloting, but what the sense I'm getting is that they're going to let you have one or two trusted devices that pilots run. And so an account like Mr. Hope or Wild Lion, I mean, the sense I'm getting is just that like those trusted pilots for those accounts will be able to operate, and so those accounts will be able to perform at a super, super high strength. Now, this guy's doing a great job. I mean, we got to be a little bit careful here. Like, I'm like wasting so much time here, like, to be honest. Like, talking to you guys and everything. Like, this guy's genuinely doing, like, a good job. I guess we just need to kill his ass. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I'm wasting minutes of time. I'm literally wasting minutes of time. Doing nothing. And the enemy has 3 of the circles. Like, they have 3 of the circles. And now more people are coming. Like, look at this. We're playing very, very poorly here. Very poorly. I'll use this. I don't know. Now, this guy might grab it now. This Arthur is trying to grab it, so we'll just be the enforcers here while this guy grabs it. This will ultimately work out. Alright, so I'm just dead. I'm full dead. This apple's in a bit of threat, for sure. I think we're going to hold on and win this match, but it was uglier than it needed to be because we just wasted so much time at that friggin' apple. Yeah, if anybody's going to be migrating to 3308, they will definitely have to wait a few months. 3308 is registered for Heroic Anthem. And they will be going into a KVK, I believe, on Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday that things are going to be announced. Or wait. I think they might announce the matchups at Reset today. I think so. Yeah, so it looks like both teams had like these very scuffed cab marches. We've got 2 purple bellies in that match. So we might be ranked a little low here. It's been a minute since I played Champions of Olympia. We are in Platinum. I mean, to be fair, we're in Platinum. All right, this is the original map. The original map is still the best map in my opinion. Yeah, it's this queue for HA is big. I mean, I think one could certainly argue that this is going to be the biggest, like the most important and substantial KVK pop in years. I mean, And the reason I say that is because A, like all the biggest kingdoms are going into it, but B, they are gonna have the anti-paladin measures in place, and so it's gonna be stress test so hard. Like I guarantee you, these top kingdoms are planning to use a bunch of pilots, right? I can practically guarantee you they're planning to use a bunch of pilots. So so you know, it's gonna get tested. Like the anti-paladin rules will get tested. Looks like we have all leadership players. Like everyone's a leadership player. Oh, this guy's not. So, but we have 4 leadership players, whereas the enemy has just like 1 leadership player. So kind of interesting. We're just gonna fight here. There's 2 guys here, so we just have to fight, I think. I'm focused on the Attila, which is like not optimal, but whatever. We killed him fast anyway. Let's kill the Nevsky next. He's running. We took the apple. That's beautiful. That went great. That went great. He's going here, so we'll go here. No, he's going here now. Okay. He ran right into the enemy. But this one's safe. I think it was a good redirect. He just needs to get through now. The apple's trying to get through this gauntlet. We're trying to help him. The apple does go down, so not ideal. Not ideal. We're losing. We're doing okay on buildings, but not like amazing. I'm gonna try and grab the apple with one. Then I'll grab with the other. Grab with the one. It's not gonna work. I shouldn't even grab it. So I don't want to end up in the same situation I was in last game where I'm just like wasting a ton of time. But maybe we're okay here. We just have so many people gathering it now. I'm low health, so it's okay if I gather. We're losing bad, so like this apple is an issue. So I got it. Let's go. Speed boost. We're going for it. We're going. We're going. All right, so we're gonna get the apple returned. But we're still way down. We're still way, way down in this match. Yeah, we're still way down in the match. My marches are pretty low. I think I'm just going to go back mid. Actually, I'm going to send my fresh march to... I'm going to take this one. I think we have enough people going mid. I don't think mid is like... I think mid is an over priority for us, if anything. We got to work on these buildings. So I'm going to start working on the building game. Oh, the Arthur's just sitting in the base. I'm trying to read the chat. So, yeah, Apple has a ton of people there, but the enemy is winning the fight. So, I'm going to at least send the Arthur. I'm going to at least send the Arthur mid to try to disrupt. These 2 guys will stay here and try to take that. But we have to disrupt. We have to disrupt. We really have to disrupt. Oh, can we get there? No, we got it. Oh, no. Let's send this guy to this one. Let's send this guy to this one. The Arthur's got his claws in this guy. Can he maybe take him down? Close. Close. Oh, no. It's a game of inches. Champions of Olympia is a game of inches. I don't think we're going to get here in time. I think I need to kill this guy. Can I maybe kill him? I don't think so. Maybe? Nah, they got the apple. Dang. Too close. Too close. All right, so now we've got a big fight here. We'll use this. We'll use this. I don't even know where the Arthur is, but... Oh, we're in trouble in this match. We're in deep, deep trouble. We're slowly flipping this building. Now we aren't. All right, so maybe we get this app. Oh, my Arthur is out of his mind. All right, if we kill this guy, I think we just get this apple. I mean, we have to get very aggressive here. I'll do the same thing as last time. The Arthur mid, the other two marches to the side. Yeah, Lucci still gets used. Lucci's used as part of the second infantry march, so yeah, he's still quite good. All right, so he's going there. I'm gonna go here because we just have to take risks right now. It would be overkill for me to go to this building. I mean, I think we can't win. I think we just lost this match. Maybe I played bad. I don't know. All right, so we took that building. We'll just kind of go over here. I mean, there will be one more apple, so I feel like the only way we can win is to grab the last apple. We won't have enough time, though. We won't have enough time. All right, 1-1 in Olympia so far. We are going to stream another Osiris League match at 15 UTC. So, if you're not loving watching my own play, I will cast other people playing this game in 30 minutes. We're just in the break between the 13 UTC matches and the 15 UTC matches. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the 15 UTC matches and see if we can pick one. Like, pick what we're gonna cast. Let's see. Let us see. What is available for us at 16 UTC? That's not what we want. All right, so in Bastet, we've got JST. 1981 versus 2218. That, I mean, that could be a good match. I think this could be a good match. 2217 versus E68. Look at this. Look at how crazy is this? House-Targaryen versus House of Targaryens. That's crazy, man. That's so wild, dude. They have this, like, almost the same name. Shout out to House-Targaryen. They're going to be in action later tonight with episode 2 of House of the Dragons. Last week's episode 1 was crazy, man. You know, I've made it a point to not be spoiled by Game of Thrones for years. I used to, you know, discuss Game of Thrones on forums, and then when the Red Wedding happened, I realized that some of the people in the thread, even though the thread was a no-spoiler thread, some of the people knew what was going to happen, and they had subtly been spoiling the Red Wedding for like years ahead of time. So the Red Wedding was like almost not a surprise to me, and it really didn't pop as a great moment. So after that, I swore off like all discussions of shows that could be spoiled, because ultimately I think there's enough just lame-ass people out there who they want to feel smart, and so they will spoil the show because they know what's going to happen and they want to sound smart. So since then, I've like not known anything about what's going to happen on House of Dragons or any of those shows. And so like when Cersei blew up the Sept, that was a total surprise to me, and that was like really, really cool. That was an awesome moment, right? When like Missandra did all her stuff with the Lord of the Light in the fight against the White Walkers, that was all a big surprise too, right? So like, and there's one other thing that I'm forgetting now. There's one other like super good surprise that I'm forgetting. And so that's been great. Like that's been really, really cool to like have all these surprising things happen. And last week was surprising to me, for sure. I did not expect the death that occurred to occur. I thought that character was going to be like an annoying character for a long time. So I did not expect that to happen last week. Yeah, how Banks. It is canon. It is canon for House of Targaryen to have infighting. So it's pretty fitting that when House of the Dragon is going to go live in about 8 hours, that House of Targaryen is fighting House of Targaryen. I mean, we might have to watch this match. I don't know. See, this is a good match too, though. Like, this is a really good match. DQ 39 versus 1473. We might watch this match. This one's really good. We put money on Lost, so this one might be good. It looks like Lost's power is down a little bit. I don't know if they've lost members or what, but yeah. Dan says the apple is irrelevant. You just need to hold 3 flags. Yeah, but dude, if you give people free apples, they get such value from it. I mean, ultimately, what the guy did against me was very good. You know, like there was one guy delaying like 2 or 3 of us from getting the apple. That's the best way to do it. But like you have to at least delay. And so I find myself going to the apple a lot because like I know that I at least have to delay. So we got a ton of matches at 15 UTC, guys. Like, we've got a ton of matches. I mean, Beer's going to be in action. I guess Beer lost players. I guess Beer must have lost players because their power is very low. Right? Like, this can't be the normal Beer team when their power is this low. So I guess that Beer is not the team they used to be, which is unfortunate. It was cool to have a non-Imperium KD that was so strong. I mean, 49 is going to be in action, but that's going to be a blowout. I mean, we put our Oryx on 44 KO, but we're not going to watch that. Here's the B team from 89. They probably win pretty comfortably. So far, I'm liking the matches in Bastet, actually. Oh, there's a bunch more here. Okay. So 93 T against 27-28. I don't think that'll be close. We bet on 11:58, so if we need to watch that. That's crazy, Nick. That's crazy that you're still playing bot matches at Ascended. That's wild. Yeah, so I think we're gonna watch. I think we're gonna watch DQ 39 versus 1473. Let me just change the title real quick of the stream. Let's see, where can I do that? Here we go. So it's gonna be 2139 versus 1473. There we go. But before then, let's go ahead and keep playing Champions of Olympia. Let's get this going. We got to get out of Platinum. We got to dig our way out of Platinum here. Dan saying that Beer lost a bunch of players because they do not win KVKs, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, you know. You know, I forget the exact nature of how Beer lost last season, but I remember it being like a very disappointing loss for them. Like I didn't speak to them, but I just remember like the way they lost was like, it was a tough way to lose. I think they lost in the finals, and I just remember thinking, like, I wonder how they're going to respond to this one, because that was a tough, tough loss right there. I can probably tell you who they played in the finals, but I'm going to forget exactly what happened. I mean, Beer also went deep in the Grand Prix, though. They lost to 49. I forget exactly how it was. I think it was a 3-game series. They lost to 49 in a 3-game series in the Osiris League last season, right? So, yeah, just like really close, like really. You know what? I'm looking at it now, and I might not have cast the matches, so maybe my memory is bad. But anyway, sad to see the Beers downgraded. You know, you always want to see more good ARC teams rather than less. All right, so we're already playing non-standard here. We just kind of went over to this this one, and somebody threw a mark on my marches. I don't know. We'll go mid now. I think what I did there was fine. Everyone has... Oh, we got a bunch of leadership players again. We got a whole bunch of all leadership players and one archer player again. Look at this. We all went mid. Look at this. This is crazy. Rosser, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Glad everybody's enjoying the content. We'll be live streaming another Osiris League match here in about 30 minutes. We're just going to play some Champions of Olympia in the meantime. Try and get the rank up, trying to collect the rewards. A pretty good run there by this guy. He actually got me out of position there for a bit. We're holding up pretty good here. We took the building. We're going to stay on the structure until we clear these guys. You can see this teammate here is running. We're going to give this guy the boost because he's the only player who doesn't have the Guardian of Light skill. We'll now go over here and try to heal very quickly. And then think about what else is happening on this map. This one is spawning. Someone needs to get over there. This is spawning. We need to get over there. We'll probably go to the next one, right? Actually, these are going to be spawned for a while. So we are just going to... We'll just go wherever TJ doesn't go. Wherever this imp player doesn't go, we're going to go there. Oh, he's just chilling. I think we're pretty fine here. This is not spawning soon. This is spawning now. I'm just going to break off. I'm just going to break off and go here. Yeah. I mean, we got so many people at this one. We are losing early here. I mean, what I'm doing here is not like amazing, but... Oh boy, I'm outnumbered. I'm very outnumbered here. And this guy hits hard. Well, the perils of being solo as a leadership player, they just played out right there. I really need to try to run with this guy, TJ. I really don't know what rank I would be in Olympia because I just never played enough to find out. I guess I go here. Or no, he's going here. So yeah, I'll go here. And let me buff this guy. We actually have 2 non-leadership players. Whatever. A close match. Close match. Can we get a tiny bit of value here? Probably not. Nope. So we're like really moving poorly. We're just playing all around poorly. I don't think we need to help here because this one looks like a win for us. We'll help over here. I think we just cast this now. This is looking okay-ish. Yeah, we got him outnumbered now. Alright, so we finally moved to a smart place. Alright, so we're pretty high health. I guess we can heal. We got that, we got that. Alright, we're starting to do pretty good. I'm still playing bad because I'm not even healing. This is spawning. So we'll get there a little late. Oh, we lost it. Boy, I'm spewing. I am spewing. We'll walk with these guys. Alright, they just want to stay. Well, then we'll just outrun them. I don't know why this guy's turning. The fight is here. Look at this. These guys are crazy. They should have come to this center. We're low health, but we are doing enough to maybe capture this flag. See, my teammate is not even standing on it. I mean, I've played bad, but my teammates aren't that good either. Like, now we have more people. Now we have more people when this thing is almost fully captured. Or fully out of points. All right, I'm just going to go here. Because that thing is spawning. Let me move this marker. Enemy grabs this thing quickly. I guess I need to heal the QSH. We do have the lead. I think we're going to hold on to win this one. Not my best performance, but kebabs. Kill this guy. We'll get a last second kill. Let's go. All right, so TJ was the MVP there. Nick's saying that siege marches are good in Olympia, which is interesting. I don't see too many siege marches. I do want to build a cav team at some point and just run around and see how I do. But I honestly think I would do best with like teams that just fight very well. You know, I think maybe like an all imp team or an all archer team is what I would actually maybe do best with. But like in this situation where I'm the only person with silence, like in this situation, my team is very valuable. The problem comes when 3 or 4 of us are leadership teams with silence. All right, so this is the old school map. We'll go here, I think. Yeah, so we got 2 people going here. This is a very good combo, right? Because when I'm with an imp player, I can give them this this morale boost skill, and that's like what they need. I mean, I think this gives a rage. I should know what it does, but I think it gives a little bit of rage. Yeah, so we just like bullied them off this. Now we can just walk them down. This is how you want to start. This is like a standard start. People should just do this like every game. A leadership player and an imp or archer player go to an outside lane, win, and then it's just like such a high leverage spot because like this enemy is doing nothing. Like they are doing absolutely nothing. Whereas we have full marches and we can do other stuff. Like that's a great way to start the match for us. Great way to start the match. Now we speed boost, we go mid. I don't know what this guy's doing. Is he oh, he's healing. All right. Fair enough, fair enough. Can we disrupt this? Can we disrupt this? I think we disrupt. I think we disrupted. I think we disrupted all. Oh, we disrupted 2 out of 3. Now we're gonna have to run. We are gonna have to run. I'll run here, I guess. Yeah, we'll take the 1v1. We'll take the 1v1 here. Boost the Sun Tzu. We'll give our teammates a little something. I think now we win this fight. We ran out of hard drive space as usual on these live streams. 30 gigs was not enough for a 90-minute stream or 2-hour stream. GG. The entire both teams are completely at this mid circle here. Let's see what team can win it. Look at this. Everybody's silenced. Rejuvenation being cast. I'm just trying to keep my guys active. Keep them fight. Oh, can I get this off? Nope. Alright, so we are losing slightly. Close match, though. Close match. Where do I want to go when I respawn? We've got this. We've got this. We're just trying to hold 3. We do have 3 at the moment. And this guy's doing pretty good. I think I go back mid. I think I just go back mid. Yeah. So my teammate's pinging mid, too. Alright, let's go, guys. I mean, this guy's doing fine. I don't hate what this guy's doing. This guy's doing great. The person who's been holding this is doing great. We just need the mid. I mean, if we could get mid, we're in good shape. We've already got 3. It's almost overkill for us to go mid, but we'll take it. Especially if it's free, like it looks to be right now. Alright, we're going to get the jump on this guy. He's healed, but we got the jump on him. And we have a teammate coming. So honestly, very good teamwork by the blue team here. We've all been in like good positions this whole time. Enemy's trying to like run. I think I'm killing this Sun Tzu, then we switch to the other Sun Tzu. Just trying to hold on for dear life here. 2 marches left, no health. Now we're going to kill this QSH. We've still got 2 alive. We got the QSH. They'll heal. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And we've opened up a nice lead. We'll just try to keep climbing out of platinum here in ranked Champions of Olympia as we wait for the next Osiris League match. Coming soon to a theater near you. There we go. The surrender. The surrender. Oh, they added siege skills to Champions of Olympia? That's crazy. Dan, can you list the 3 archer marches that you run? I'll set up that preset. I'll just set that preset up. Well, Banks, the real difference for Champions of Olympia now is that everyone has the same gear, right? So everyone has exactly the same gear, the same armaments. So it's like it's very much a skill game now. Very much a skill game. All right, so this is probably going to be the last match, and then we'll jump into those the Osiris League match. DQ 39 against 1473 is what we're going to be watching. Yeah, so here our team comp is not that good. Our team comp is not very good here at all because we got 4 leadership players. That's no good. Yeah, I guess I'm just going mid. My standard play is to go mid at the start of this map. And no one is going mid with me. That's a problem. That's a problem. I guess I'm just going to have to take it. I guess my Arthur's just going to have to take it. We'll stay in the circle, but we'll stay on our side. Go your side. There we go. Okay, I guess we got here in time. We engage. We boost the Arthur because he's probably getting targeted. They're running. I'm sure there's a positioning thing here because like they kind of, this guy kind of like dragged me in the middle. And so like I feel like my marches are getting AoE'd by like everyone on the enemy team, right? So there's probably a positioning thing that I might have gotten just schooled on right there. I don't know if the guy did it intentionally, but I do think he dragged me into a position that was pretty bad. Because I was like in the middle of the fight and therefore taking AoE from all sides. Just something to think about. All right, so this is spawning soon. I'm respawning right as it does. So this is going to be perfect. Good timing here. Good timing. Let's find our archer player and try to boost another one of his marches. There we go. We'll give it to the Alp Arslan. Look at this cheeky one march that's trying to steal this thing. He actually did steal it. So I don't really need to go there. We got this covered. We got this covered. I'm just going to hedge to the middle. Middle will be spawning pretty soon. If we need to go... If we need to go help somewhere else, we can. Like, if we need to go here and help, we could. But we don't need to. So maybe we just stay mid. Oh, are these guys bots or something? I don't think they're bots. They're playing like bots, though. All right, now mid is spawning. And we'll camp it. I should have cast this a while ago, but that's all right. So he's just going to run. We'll just follow him. We'll just follow this dude. Go here. Now he's following me. I'm just going to use the silence here. And there's the surrender. There's Big Daddy. Shout out to Big Daddy. I don't know if this is the same Big Daddy that kept the stream going today, but maybe. All right, so we'll claim our quests, and then let me go ahead and make that archer preset. Why not? So you run... You're in QSH with YSG. I'm gonna have to filter by archers every friggin' time. ZL Phillip and AA Herman. Okay. Alright. There's ZL Phillip. And AA Herman. Why am I not seeing AA? Do I have to have the commander unlocked? I have AA unlocked. Why do I not see AA? Nick wants Shajar in there. Yeah, can we run like ZL Shajar or Shajar ZL or something? Is Alp Arslan not an archer commander or something? Yeah, for whatever reason, Alp Arslan is like not appearing on my bar. It's crazy. I don't have it unlocked? I thought I did. I could have sworn I unlocked Alp. Alright, well, there you go. We'll save it, but it's not complete. Do I really not have Alp? Oh, he's right here. He's right here. I have to buy Flux scripts later, so I haven't summoned him yet. Oh well. Yeah, I would think Shajar is good too. And you see it with QSH or ZL. I think I like Shajar over Philip personally. I will be right back. I need to get some more water. Yeah, I mean, since we have a few minutes, I can put gear on some of these guys in Olympia. I think one of the things that slows people down with Olympia is just it is a little annoying to set up all the marches, but I mean, once you have it done, you're good to go. Oh, look at all the drums. They give you so many drums. All right, so the ZL is set up. My QSH is already good to go. But yeah. We don't have the Alp Arslan unlocked. Now at least I understand why people run these like non-meta commanders. I honestly did for some reason I didn't realize that you had to unlock the commander to run them in this game mode. Don't really think we have time for another match. We do want to jump into these matches on time. I believe it was in... No, it's in Bastet. We're going in Bastet. Oh, here we go. I still can't get over House-Targaryen versus House-Targaryen. That is hilarious. Alright, we got 3 minutes. Let's see how we're doing with our bets so far today. I think we're doing, like, not... I think we lost on 17-18, so I know we lost at least one. But we're doing okay, though. OWR ended up not being much of an upset. That's the problem. Oh, so we only had the 2 matches. Now we have a bunch of matches. We did bet on DQ 39. I'll be honest, even though I have Oryx on DQ 39, I'm secretly rooting for 1473. Just because DQ 39 were like they were such bad allies. I mean, I basically bet on 2 kingdoms that have been terrible allies to us, but you know. As a gambler, you got to be cold and calculating. As a content creator, you can be emotional and all over the place. But as a gambler, you got to be cold and calculating. I don't think this bet is good. I know I put this bet on DK18. I don't think this bet is good. I think LB81 always wins here. And I'm not even sure that the loss bet against BR81 is that great. Not sure. I do think DQ39 is going to beat 1473. It'll be interesting to see how DQ39 plays Osiris League. Because they don't really do much in KVK. So they're basically like, they exist in order to play in Osiris League. So I would imagine that like they take it pretty seriously in practice. There's the music going again. We'll be jumping in here in any second. One minute to go. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can believe that the cavalry is weaker in straight up fighting, but you know, that's counteracted by their march speed being better. And I do remember the days of Honda primary being super, like Honda was super good in Arc, or in Olympia, excuse me. But yeah, I just have never had like the 1v1. I've never run the marches that win 1v1, because it used to be that infantry won 1v1. But I wasn't an infantry player, so I couldn't run that. And then now, since like you can use all the commanders, I feel like originally it was infantry was best 1v1, and then I guess now maybe it's archers that are best 1v1. So I do want to just try that out. Because as you can see, I do fight a lot in Olympia. I'm not really a guy who moves around that much. I just sort of like try to go to where the fight is going to be. All right, so here we go. 2:59 left. We got in here just in time. I think, again, we're going to see like a very disciplined teleport in order. Here we've got DQ39 in blue, one player teleporting in for them. Same thing for 1473. Look at this. 1v1 match. We can do a 1v1 match today? Both teams taking their sweet time to come into this match. You can tell that they're taking it seriously here. Now, these two players can always teleport in. The players in front can always teleport in. And the way you know who's going to be in the front is basically these are the people who have the coordinator role 1, coordinator role 2, and coordinator role 3. Now, I imagine these teams know that, but I mean, for some reason, these players are not teleporting in, which I don't quite know why. I really don't know why. I think in the previous match, we did see all the top 3 officers teleport in for both teams. Let me go ahead and get rid of the webcam here. I'll throw the PFP on the screen. We'll treat it like an official Osiris League match here. But I mean, at this point, I mean, my gosh, these guys are teleporting in very slowly, very, very slowly. It is important to do this. It is important to do this because these are the players who will not teleport for a long time. You know, these players are not going to teleport for the first 45 minutes of the match in some cases. So you want them to be near the front. You definitely want them to be near the front. The difference between being up here and being back here, or at worst case scenario back here, is that's got to be 20 seconds. I mean, that has to be a 20-second walk right here. Every single time. That might be 25 seconds. This walk across the screen. It might be. Now, DQ39, I don't know what's going on here, guys. We might have to do a different match. I mean, this is a little crazy, right? They're still teleporting in? And none of their officers have teleported in? Do we have something crazy going on here where they're, like, no-showing this match? I'm starting to think they're no-showing this match. I mean, this is, like... I mean, this does, yeah, this looks like a no-show from DQ39. So I think this kingdom might be just like falling apart or something, because they've had a couple of very poor performances in KVK, and now they're not even showing up for Osiris League. I mean, this kingdom might be, you know, I'll have a bunch of retired players or something. All right, so we're probably gonna have to watch a different match. Yeah, no point in watching this match, guys. One team didn't show up. That's pretty shocking. We put the Oryx on this team and they didn't show up, so there you go. All right, we're gonna find another match. I'm gonna watch the House-Targaryen versus House-Targaryen match. It's too perfect. It's too perfect. With House of the Dragon being on tonight, it's too perfect that Targaryen is fighting Targaryen. Let's just watch it, man. 29 versus 30. These guys only have 29 players showing up. Both teams using energetic, right? We're gonna see. We might see like a different level of play here, right? We saw two extremely good teams play earlier, and neither team had energetic on the bar. In this case, both teams are using energetic. So we've got House-Targaryen in blue and red here. I'm going to say, because I like the color blue more than I like the color red, I'm going to say that the blue team is Rhaenyra's faction of House-Targaryen. And red team, because they're the evil ones, this is going to be Aemon's faction. So here's Aemon with Vhagar. And it's just going to be, a family feud here between blue and red, House Targaryen versus House Targaryen. This century is going to get scouted out, but which team is going to get here first? That is an interesting question. I think it's going to be the red team who gets here first, actually. I think red team has a much faster path here than blue, so this blue sentry is going down. Blue can see it with this one. On the bottom side, it's only red team that has a sentry. These two teams had the same amount of power, so they were very evenly matched. Let's see if, like, early on we can figure out which team is more coordinated and thus likely to win the match. I think we won't be able to determine that until after the first arc. But as far as early going, I would say that basically it seems to me like red team got out a little faster. Maybe? I don't know about that. Maybe not. I mean, it just feels like on this outside lane that red team is a lot faster than the blue marches. And they did capture their obelisks faster, right? You can see this obelisk was captured 20 seconds faster than the obelisk up here. So at the moment, it looks like Aemon is the more coordinated arc leader compared to Rhaenyra. But it's early. It's early. No big deaths yet, you know what I mean? So red team is being very conservative here at this desert altar. They didn't really approach the desert altar. They're just kind of like standing midfield. It's an interesting play. Actually, in our match last week against 1824, I had this lane just camp the Shrine of War. They ended up standing over here and hiding, which was a good play. And then 1824, they basically got tired of waiting for us, and they attacked down here. We sort of ambushed them from here, and we had like a pretty good engage. So you know, I don't see like top teams necessarily doing this because top teams really like to pressure the enemy. But there's something to be said for just like not even trying to get this Desert Altar first capture and just somehow maneuvering to get a good trade here early on. Nothing happening here. Red team defensive here at the Shrine of War too. You see the red team's pretty defensive. They're playing pretty defensively here. They're picking up this fight where they have the numbers advantage, so this is going to go very well for OTR. It does look to me like the red side just has a more defined game plan. It's not necessarily an aggressive game plan, but they're you know, everybody was at this fight when they needed to be at this fight. And so they're going to get a really, really good engage here at the Desert Altar. And they can probably slingshot this forward. And, you know, even here, it's like, yeah, all you did was play defense. But you were in the right position. I mean, ultimately, if the enemy is going to pressure this outside lane a lot, which the blue team did, you do want to be on the defensive. And then you can just, you can deal with it. You can literally just deal with it. So let's see what red team does here. This is going to be interesting. Like, where's the rotation coming? I would always send to Shrine of War. Like, my default is just always send all these guys to Shrine of War. But that's not what's happening here, actually. This is interesting. Very interesting. They're actually rotating to the outside lane. Huh. Like, why would you go outside instead of inside? I don't quite know, but maybe it's because these marches have already died and respawned, whereas these marches are still like the original marches. I don't know. I mean, it's not a perfect rotation for many reasons. Number one, the enemy can see the rotation. Number two, you got half the people going to the Shrine of Life, and you got the other half going to the Sky Altar. So that part of it didn't work, but it's unconventional. I'll say that it's unconventional because I'm always just sending to Shrine of War, and then like we're probably losing. Now the problem is with all these shenanigans, you're leaving the Desert Altar a little bit undefended. Oh, Nick's saying that I should mention the skills. Yeah, you know, Nick, I do want to endeavor to be a little bit more educational about Arc. I mean, I think that's especially true on the official channel where you're going to have a lot of players who are less experienced watching. With my channel on this match, I imagine the vast majority of people are experienced Arc players. But I will try to mention what some of these skills do, yes. I mean, so far, both teams have just used... Well, they've used Energetic and one team used Dust Up. So, Energetic basically just gives you a skill boost. You're regenerating your skill points a little bit faster per minute. And then also, when you cast a skill, you get like a rebate from that. So, Energetic is just basically giving you more skill points in the future. Dust Up is a fighting skill, and using Dust Up before the first mid is a mistake. And I imagine Blue did that just to try to secure some of these buildings. But that Dust Up that they cast already to help secure their buildings is a Dust Up they will not be able to use for this first mid. And so that is a problem for them. And you can see that the red team, OTR, they have pressured this Desert Altar successfully on the top side with not sure if this is a swarm or a rally, but regardless, they traded pretty well on the attack. And so blue team, they've got 3.5 minutes before the arc. They need to get some of their buildings back. They need to get this Desert Altar back. They've got everything else. They do have the enemy Sky Altar, so it's a pretty fair business so far between these two sides. No mark, an early no mark being cast by OTR. So that's a very interesting time to use no mark. I think they want it for this first capture, probably. I think they wanted to get the capture on this faster, but I don't think in my experience, the timer does not change Nomarch does not change the timer of a building that's already getting counted down. So, interesting Nomarch there by OTR for sure. Now this was the timing was very good for this one, because what Nomarch does is Nomarch gives you more points for the buildings you control, and it reduces the capture time by a minute. And so this building would normally take 2 minutes to capture, but because Nomarch was active before they took it, it's only taking them 1 minute to capture this building, so they will start generating points on this building faster. By virtue of the Nomarch, you can see that because of Nomarch is active, OTR does have about 60 points more per minute. But I will be honest and say that that Nomarch is not amazing, because for a couple reasons. Number one, some of their buildings are not generating points yet. And number two, they don't have that many buildings. And number three, it really compromises their mid. And now we are seeing that red team might even skip the mid, because blue team is here. There are no red team marches here, and they will have fewer points than blue team. Pretty interesting choices here early in the match by red. You can see that they have a game plan. It is a bit unconventional, but they are doing a pretty good job of sticking to the game plan. For example, this outside lane, none of them are going mid, and they're going to hold this building for quite a long time. They are in a position now where they can hold this building for a very long time. They even have siege. They even have siege here as part of this defense on the forward building. The rally's coming in. It's not going to... Actually, the rally is not even going to this building. So you can see how unprepared the blue team is for this take. They don't have a rally going to the building. The rally is actually bypassing the building and going to a different structure, which is not what you want. You want to put all your focus on getting this building back. This is so many points that the red team is generating here. But you know what? The red team has to generate those points because they are giving away a free 3,000 points to blue team here. So TRN, a lot of TRN tags here. I've played with TRN players before. I believe this is going to be maybe a Turkish group. Not quite sure, but I believe there's some sort of some sort of Asian element to the TRN players. So you can see that the red team got a little bit from that Nomarch. You know, this Sky Altar is really the key to this Nomarch being successful. The longer they hold this Sky Altar, the more successful the Nomarch skill is going to be. They're now up to 962 points per minute. So if they can hold this gap for the next 3 or so minutes, then that is going to neutralize half of the points that blue team is going to get from the arc itself. But you have to also factor in that they used the Nomarch, right? Like, you don't want to just break even with the Nomarch. You want to get more. You want to get more for the Nomarch because it's such a good skill, and you can only use it at most twice in a match. And so then now here's the Nomarch from blue. So both teams using Nomarch. Blue team trying to take this Desert Altar. And it's going to be a full Attila Subutai rally hitting this building. OTR being tested early. This is the hardest time in the match to have full reinforcements. But in a situation like this, you really do need those full reins. You see a ZL march getting thrown in here. So I don't know if this is going to be mixed troops or what, but it's doing okay. The Attila David is doing okay. And now here comes all these red marches to swarm this rally down. So it looks like it's going to be a hold here for OTR at the Desert Altar. Meanwhile, they continue to hold this Sky Altar. They have really, really messed things up here. Now, see, I just don't really like the choices here from blue, right? Like, it's as if they're rallying everything but the building they really need to rally. Like, they need to take back this Sky Altar, but they're so focused on these attacks that are not working, right? I mean, this attack was close to working, and it might still. The swarm might end up taking this building. Let's see. Look at the numbers here. Looks like red team has the numbers advantage, so I think they just hold here. But as that's happening, they're just clocking the minutes in this Sky Altar. You can see that even with this arc not being returned as of now, it's basically a tie game. Like, it is basically a tie game right now. And OTR is earning more points per minute for now. For now. Pretty close match, though. All in all, House Targaryen, the infighting in this family has always been a pretty competitive affair. And that is holding true here in week 1 of the Osiris League. House Targaryen versus House of Targaryen, embroiled in a very, very close fight here. And Frost saying that WU cleaned mid with an Inferno against 1093, while big plays happening all across the land. And very interesting play here. Blue team instantly returning the arc. Really interesting play here. Because they did use no mark. So you worry a little bit about their skills. And look at this, the outpost rally. The outpost rally coming in from OTR. Let's see how this does. 2 rallies. You've got 2 rallies here. And look at this. They've got the full outposts. How interesting. You know, some teams will leave outposts empty. They might put 1 march in there. But it feels a bit like this is a full outpost. Maybe not. Maybe this is just 1 march. W cleaned mid with Inferno but lost the arc still. Feels bad, man. So look at this. Red team rallying outposts. Blue team rallying enemy buildings, but just never actually rallying their own Sky Altar back. This is starting to become a real issue for them. You can see that they are losing the building game, the occupation game, by quite a bit here. Excuse me. Even on the top side, look, Desert Altar being taken on the top side here too. This is why I thought it was interesting that they skipped the first mid, because it does feel like Red team has the stronger accounts. They are definitely out-ratioing 2983 here. Look, even their kingdom names are pretty similar. They've got 3 of the same digits in their kingdom names even. So these are some real doppelganger kingdoms going down in the realm of Bastet. So okay, and then we have monsters as well. Monsters are spawning here. Monsters are spawning right now. We see the red team has the advantage down here, and they're gonna handle things here at the Herald of Anubis. Up here, blue team has the advantage, but red team is gonna pressure it a little bit. So here's what you can do in this situation, right? Now they have enough people that they got like 15 marches here, so they are gonna take this monster very quickly. But if you had a few more marches here, what you could do is you could just attack these marches, weaken them, and make it hard for them to kill the monster. Now, what the added advantage here, well, you don't have it for this one, but on the second monster, you get the speed boost too. So imagine this is the second monster, and these red marches are trying to just harass the enemy. With that speed boost from the other monster, they could just kite them. They could just run in and out, and just really delay how long it takes for them to capture this thing. You see that they're delaying it a little bit, but not in a meaningful way. So monsters handled pretty well by both teams. Actually, this one's still up for grabs, but you know. Yeah, monsters getting handled. Desert Altar gets flipped. So blue team fighting back a little bit here. They flipped the Desert Altar. They've taken back their own Desert Altar on the top side. But, you know, this is what you got to do if you're red team. You've got a pretty strong take-back effort already at this building. Looks like they're going to wipe the field quickly. Yeah, DQ39 is killing our Oryx, man. Oof. That's crazy, man. That's crazy that kingdom no-showed. I mean, you do wonder why some of these teams no-show, right? Like, 2965 no-showed earlier. And, like, why? Like, their KVK is over, no? I mean, I get that they might be burnt out because they had a very grueling KVK, I guess maybe a week or so ago, but Yeah, pretty interesting that some of these like strong teams are no-showing. Like, why? Stunka says, which KD do you think is the underdog this season? You know, nobody jumps to mind immediately, Senku. I mean, I might have said 2965 in all honesty, because we've played them in the past, and I know that they have added a lot of players, and they were like already a good ARC team. So I would have said it would be a team like 65 LD, but obviously they no-showed their match. It would be a kingdom like that. It would be a kingdom that has done well in ARC in the past, and then like added talent. But a kingdom like that doesn't come to mind immediately, right? I guess I would say the underdog at this point is 1879, because 1879 pulled a very nice upset against 1718 today. So I guess we would have to say that 1879 is quite a good underdog. So look at this. Sky Altar gets flipped back immediately. The blue team took back the Sky Altar. They threw the Gorgotoku Garrison in there. The Gorgotoku Garrison does very poorly against Swarm, and it just got rallied right back by red. So this lane here continues to be a problem for the Rhaenyra faction of House Targaryen. But listen, guys, the mid is going to be in 3 minutes. Mid spawning in 3 minutes. And I like the timing here for blue. I like what I'm seeing from blue here, right? They're going to kill off these marches. They're going to very aggressively attack this Shrine of War. They might take it. Worst case scenario, they take this building and then still have half-health marches that can't go mid. Best case scenario, they hard pressure this building, die, and then get to mid just in time. That might be cutting it a little bit too close, but... I mean, that is cutting it too close, to be honest. But anyway, I think if you're blue here, you clear this, you take the Shrine of War, and then you just kind of camp this area, and maybe you hurt the numbers for red getting to mid. It's going to be tough, though. If you're blue here, it's going to be pretty tough. These marches here have to do a ton of work. They just have to do a ton of work here over the next 2 minutes before this second arc spawn. Irgundir, I don't know how you get alliance locked in Osiris League. I mean, that seems like an unforced error. All right, so 2983, they do flip the building, and now these marches are probably, they can't really get to mid on time. I mean, you see this player trying to go for it. I think this is good. I think these players can maybe get to mid on time. These players cannot, and so they're dying off. It's pretty well executed so far from 2983. They use the energetic. We'll have to see how many points they have for mid. Both teams using energetic. Interesting. Mid popping off already. They using energetic because they're going to start casting skills. Blue just went in early. We kind of missed it. They went in early, but do they even have the numbers advantage? Like, do they even have the numbers advantage? And here's the other problem, guys. When you're split up, you have some marches here and you have some marches here, you can't buff them all. They're not close enough to use buffs. And so the red team has used war drums, whereas the blue team has not used any mid skills yet. So it was an aggressive play by blue. They still have this Shrine of War, which helps them a little bit, hurting the buff situation for red. But it looks like red is just winning the fight. It looks like red is winning. Well, not so fast, my friend. Blue is getting a very good second push here. A very good mobilization to mid. Red's just getting here late. At the end of the day, red is getting here late. Blue is here just in the nick of time. This is a very close mid. This is a close dynamic mid. Not sure what is going to happen here. Red's doing the right thing. They're getting to the temple. They have to disrupt this capture. You can't just let a blue player, like this guy right here, for example, Moses Joe, who grabbed the last arc. You can't just let him grab it. They need to nuke this guy down. I don't think they're going to nuke him down fast enough. It looks like Moses Joe is going to get this arc again. He's got it. He's running. He's running. Good, well played here. Well played by red to take this arc down. And red does have the numbers advantage. So, yeah, okay, so red was, they did enough. I think red did enough to get this arc. If you're not going to get there first, you might as well get there last. Type of situation here for red team. And it looks like they probably are going to win this second arc. Let's look what's happening at the rest of the map, though. Look at this. Blue team taking altars left and right. They've got both enemy altars. That's going to be really good for their points. They're crushing the points game. House-Targaryen from 2983 crushing the points game by 600 points more than House of Targaryen in red. Sneaky tactics being used down south. Look at this. Sneaky tactics. Buffing these marches just to fight. It's just to help them fight. They took the Shrine of Life. Now they're rotating over here to defend the Desert Altar. Blue team, you know, I said early on that red team was the more coordinated team. I think I was wrong about that. They might have done the fundamental things a little bit better. You know, they didn't cast the dust up at a weird time. They got their obelisks faster. But blue team is very dynamic. A lot of very dynamic movement from blue team, taking enemy buildings but also pressuring the arc at the same time. So we got a close match on our hands here. Well, it's Sun Tzu Prime now, Banks. It's Sun Tzu Prime. It's not the original Sun Tzu. We got Sun Tzu Prime, and this guy's going to be meta for a very long time. Probably a top 3 commander in the game, Sun Tzu Prime. I believe it is still Achilles, QSH, and Sun Tzu Prime, who are the 3 strongest commanders in the game. We've had new commanders releasing. We've thought maybe they're going to upset the totem pole there, but hasn't proven to be the case yet. And even with Vercingetorix coming out very, very soon, it's hard to picture a leadership commander being a top 3 commander. You know, we'll see though. But look at this here. The arc is mostly safe. It's mostly safe. But blue's going for it. I mean, we have to say that blue is still heavily going for this arc. And at this moment, blue has more marches mid than red. I should not have said this arc is safe. This arc is definitely not safe. Definitely not safe. Because right now, blue has more marches mid than red does. This is a good run though right here. This is a very important run. Just get this arc more on the red side. They really need this run, and it's still going, by the way. This guy's still going. Very low health, moving very slowly. Finally goes down. Look at, I mean, blue's collapsing there, but red's all together. Red is all together, and blue would have to run through a red gauntlet in order to actually capture this arc. I think this is an overcommitment by blue, honestly. I think they've committed a lot of marches to an arc that they are not going to steal. They are not going to steal this arc, and they've committed a ton of marches to it. But to be fair, they're still doing good on the sides. Even with all that commitment to mid, they're still doing good on the sides. They flipped this building again. This Desert Altar got flipped again here. And look, you can see that this is what you see from slightly less coordinated arc teams, is an inability to fill the buildings. And this is especially true in the first half of a match. We experienced this so much in our match, right? When you don't always play with 30 players, right? In your normal arc matches, you do not always play with 30 players. And so you are not used to the fact that some of these cities are in the start zone for a very long time. And in many cases, these cities that are teleporting late, they're your primary fillers. They're the people who are assigned to filling buildings. And so early in these Osiris League matches, you really need a commitment from many players on the team to fill these buildings, because it's just like the easiest way to get extremely good value is to fill up your garrisons. But it's very hard to do. Very hard to do. Frost Reaper in the chat saying they made us lose KVK because they didn't fight and were strongest KD in the camp, and now not even fighting in OL. True words being spoken by Frost Reaper about 2139. True words being spoken. He didn't say anything inaccurate right there. I mean, we might not have won. We probably would have won, but we might not have won. We probably would have won a KVK if they fought hard. They didn't fight hard. We thought it was because they were saving for Osiris League. And then they didn't even show up for Osiris League. Come on. Come on. You got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. I mean, I'm a very lazy person. And I'm an underperformer. I'm a lifelong B student. But even I know an F performance when I see one. So this is, you know, I got off track. Guys. So we just saw Time Warp plus No Mark being used by OTR, right? So they used their second No Mark. Now, the thing you got to notice is that they still have one skill they have not used, and that is likely to the death. And what you want to be doing is you want to be using No Mark and to the death before you use Time Warp so that you can reset both skills. But because this match is played out in a relatively weird way, that was not able to happen for the red team. And so it's just, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's a slight disadvantage that they will only be able to use to the death once in this match at most. And look, I mean, blue team's been messing with this Sky Altar a lot. This structure has been very successful. Again, you see, look at this. They do have the garrison in here. They got the garrison in from Mr. Lee, but it's a bunch of cav, and it was not full, right? This was, again, we're seeing the issue that the red team is having is that they are not getting their garrisons filled. They simply are not getting their garrisons filled. And so a lot of their buildings are getting disrupted, and that's just disrupting the whole rhythm of this team. You're not seeing a lot of offense from red at this point, right? They're winning the ratio game. The red team is winning the ratio game, guys. This is a really good example of like how important teamwork is in Arc. The red team is winning the ratio game. They are basically tied for the match because they do hold the Arc right now. So if anything, they have a slight lead in the match. However, because their players are not filling their buildings, they really are not able to attack. Like, we're not seeing an attack in any lane from red team. They're winning the fights, but they are not attacking because of the basic thing that they are not filling their buildings. And so their buildings are getting flipped, and then they have to worry about taking back their buildings as they're doing in this Sky Altar lane rather than attacking. Yeah, they lost us Auric too. Well, you're going to do, they played Osiris League in the past. I mean, DQ39 made it to the Realm Finals last season. They at least made the semifinals. They got the OL skin. I'm pretty sure they made it to the finals, though. I think they played 1093 in the Realm Finals last year. Yeah, it is true that 2193 was just in a big KVK. In fact, I think they might have been in that that heavily piloted KVK. I think 21, or I'm forgetting exactly which one, but I remember they were Wind Camp in a pretty big KVK recently. So OTR trying to get back their building here. With the Arc in hand, they do have a slight lead. So OTR, as much as they have made mistakes in this match and are on the defensive in most lanes, they are still very much in this match, and if anything, they do have a slight lead. Looks like they're going to flip the Sky Altar back. It is taking some time, but it looks like they'll take it back. 2983 now using Time Warp. So we'll probably see a no mark from them. There's the no mark from 2983. Now this is a bit of an advantage for red team. Because if I'm red team, I probably return this Arc right now. You know, I probably return the Arc right now. Because you have more skill points. You have more skill points than blue. So. And you've got the War Drums, right? You've got War Drums plus 2 the death. So that's a really good combo for red. If you're red team, you just want to return this Arc as soon as you know you're going to have 9 points for mid. And just take it from there, I think. So monster spawning again. Monster spawning in a minute. Red team, this is the monster that red team should win, but they are not in position. However, blue team is not really in position either. This one player, that's not going to be enough to take this monster down. You really need two. You need two players to take the monster down. Similar situation here. It's a 1v1. It's a 1v1 at this place. The blue player has all 5 marches, so he is definitely in control. This Arthur is just going to get nuked down. So, yeah, Sunday and Nelt here, they need more people. Here it comes, but here comes blue as well. Look at this. There's going to be a lot of action at these monsters. Blue's going to try to take them both. It looks like blue wants to take both monsters. Yep, and look at this down here as well. A blue player breaking off, going to this monster. Now, I need to be reminded of which one this is. Is this the second or third monster? I think it's the second one. I think it's the second one. So it's not huge. It's going to give you march speed and a points boost. But blue going for both monsters while red holds the arc. Now, this is a timing that I have not thought of before. If you hold the arc and the enemy is going for both monsters, is there any value to returning the arc? I think... not really. I'm not going to get into how the complicated decision tree there, but I think probably not. Because I think these marches, like if you return the arc right now, right? If you're red team and you return the arc, at the end of the day, these marches, they can stay out in the field for the next like 4 or 5 minutes and still get to mid on time. And like they probably are going to stay in the field for about 4 minutes, right? So blue holding on to that 3K lead, but red team has the arc. This is looking like a match that's going to come down to the third and final arc. I think it's that close. And look at this. So this one here, it's at 50%. This monster here, the Warden of Anubis, is at 50%. Blue's trying to swarm it down. They're very low, though. All these marches are very low. They got it down to 38, 37. Red's now rushing in. Red is rushing in with a lot of marches. So this is a heavily, heavily contested monster here. I think both teams are just attacking it. They're not attacking each other. Not sure. At this point, you have to switch. At this point, you have to hit the Warden. You have to hit the Warden. Who's going to get it? Both teams trying to DPS it down. Last hit gets it. Last hit wins the Warden. And it's blue team. Blue team grabbing it. Holding on. Grabbing that monster. Well played. Well played. Same situation over here, but blue's in much more comfortable position. They do get both. They get both, so basically they get the 2 buffs, 15% more points for the next 4 minutes, plus the 20% march speed, but it doesn't stack. It doesn't stack on top of each other. You only get the 1 boost, and so they're denying those buffs to the red team, which is valuable but not amazing. As it is, though, they're still holding the Sky Altar. The Sky Altar keeps getting flipped. Look at this, Mr. Lee getting pushed out again. Full rally, not a full garrison. It is what it is. That's been the story of this match. Better filling from blue is overcoming the superior fighting from red. We see that they are out-ratioing blue. They've got the stronger accounts, but blue ultimately is the better coordinated team. They really are. They're aggressive, and they're getting things done. Like, it's one thing to be aggressive. It's another thing to get things done, and they have flipped this Sky Altar many, many times. Here's Mr. Lee in the field with the Gorgo trying to get it back in. Also, like, note the non-meta garrisons, right? Like a Gorgo Hera. A Gorgo Hera is the best you can summon as a garrison for this incredibly important Sky Altar. Pretty interesting. I don't, my assessment of these two teams is neither team is playing badly. I think both teams are solid arc teams, and they're very evenly matched. And the blue team has been like flying by the seat of their pants. They've been really kind of living on the edge, as you saw them like take both monsters, for example. But they've it's been good enough, man. They've been very disruptive. They've been disruptive of red, but at the same time, red is a naturally defensive team. We've seen them be defensive this whole match. So in a way, blue's chaos factor is playing into the defensive posture of red. And so it's keeping things pretty close. There's the arc. The arc gets returned. We've got 8 minutes till the next arc. Very close match. About a 1,500 point lead for blue. No gatherers for either team. Neither team is gathering, right? Neither team is gathering. And, you know, I think if you're blue here, I think you got to just like chill a little bit. You've got to lay back in the cut, as they say, because I don't think you're ever going to get enough from the building game in the next couple minutes to make up for this third arc that's worth 4,000 points. Now they're up 2,000 now. I mean, they might. Yeah, so here's a situation where, like, if you're blue, you do have to contemplate skipping mid. You have to contemplate it. Because they've got a pretty good attack here at the Shrine of Life, too. Like, they could... I mean, they're just going to... Blue's going to YOLO every lane right now. They're going to YOLO every lane, and then they're going to have to make a decision about whether they go mid or whether they attack the sides again. It's a 2k point lead. If I'm blue... If I'm blue, I'm probably skipping mid. It's a tough call to make, and especially if you're not like prepared for it ahead of time. But if I'm blue, I think I'm skipping mid. I'm faking to mid. I'm forcing red to fully commit to it, and then I'm just doing the side game. I'm maybe sending a few gatherers out. Like if you have a few people who can gather, I think you start sending gatherers out if you're blue, and then you think about skipping mid. Because, you know, you're going to extend this lead, right? You've got the points per minute advantage. So by the time the arc spawns, I think it's going to be about a 3 to the 3,200 point lead. And at that point, you can just skip mid and probably get enough points to win the match. That's what I'm doing if I'm blue and have all the information like I have. But obviously, if you don't have the information I have, then maybe you don't know that the enemy's not gathering. In all honesty, if you want to be optimal in a match like this, you need someone watching the stream or watching the match and then relaying the information to you that red team is not gathering. Because if blue has that information, I think they can maybe skip this mid and try to win it with a side game plus a bit of gathering. P-Man saying red should have tried to go for 4 arcs since they have the more powerful fighters. Yeah, P-Man, I think it's a good call out. I mean, I don't know if you were here, P-Man, but you were here, yeah. So we saw red team skip the first arc, right? They skipped the first arc. Their gnome arc was not all that good, and they didn't get a lot out of it. They got a little bit out of it. They got this Sky Altar for a long time. They got enough to make it break even, but like, I don't know, man. I mean, I think maybe they could have just won the first arc. But here's a pretty big attack by red here. 5 minutes until the next arc. The timing was a little bit off, so blue's going to swarm down this rally before the field gets here. I think that's going to save blue at this building here. And then red needs to take back their own desert altar. They've got the Attila in here. Probably just going to be an Attila Subutai rally. So, I mean, if you're blue now... Yeah, I mean, you've extended the lead to 3k if you're blue, but you see that blue is just going mid, and they're getting there very early. So it's, yeah, it's not amazing for blue. Because look at this, red's just making the call. Red's gonna get to mid on time. You know what I mean? Red's just like, we have to win this mid. We need to get there on time. And so these players, they're just gonna walk to mid. Like, they're not exactly full health, right? Where's the guy who wasn't full health? I mean, it looks like they're pretty full health. They look pretty full. They look pretty full. This guy's like a little bit weakened. This QSH might be a little bit weakened, but anyway, both teams, it looks like both teams are going to all in mid. Looks like both teams will all in mid. This is an interesting configuration here. They're like worried. I think red is worried about the attacks. Red is a little worried that blue is going to skip mid. Red's almost thinking about it like I was thinking about it, but blue's just like, yeah, we're just going mid. We've got vision. Red has no vision mid right now. Red's going to get there late. What we're probably going to see is To the Death plus Dust Up for blue and To the Death plus War Drums for red. It'll be a slight advantage for red, but the fact that blue has the temple, it's an advantage if they can hold it when the fight kicks off. Because with To the Death, you really like to have the enemy attacking into you, and then you cast that To the Death. It's a really, really good way to do it. And blue, and remember, blue at the last arc, blue attacked early. Blue attacked early at the last arc. They see that they have the numbers advantage. They might go in again, but last time they did it, it didn't work. And look at I think it's good to hold. I think it's good to hold. I think it's good to take the temple, but I also think they're not going to hold the temple for the next 2.5 minutes. I think this fight will kick off before the arc spawns. And let's just see what both teams are doing here. You really, at this point, you need everybody going mid. Well, I mean, blue has a 3,500 point lead. Like, to be fair, blue has a 3,500 point lead. And so the issue that blue has is, like, there's a part of them that wants to take buildings and feels like maybe they can win by taking buildings. But, like, you need everybody mid. You just need everybody mid because red's going all in mid. Well, actually, that's not true. That's actually not true. Red has people here. Red has people here. This guy, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee has not played a great match, if I can be honest about it. Well, I mean, I just wish he had a better garrison. I just don't think Gorgo Hera is a great garrison. And at this point, Mr. Lee has to go mid. It's too late, but Mr. Lee needs to go mid. I get why he's here. But, like, the thing is, if blue skips mid, they're always overwhelming this. Basically, red just doesn't want a cheap flip. They don't want a cheap flip, and I can respect that. I can respect what Mr. Lee's doing here. It's not that bad. And now here's the movement. Here's the red moving around, trying to get a good angle here. It looks like they've got the numbers advantage. I think red has the numbers advantage, and they seem to have the stronger accounts. So red, for all the pressure blue has done this match, and for the lead that blue has right now, red still has a very good chance to... Oh, an early To the Death. A very early To the Death. Oh my gosh. They're wasting like 8 to 10 seconds of that To the Death. But anyway, they get it off. Desert Storm and To the Death versus Dust Up and To the Death. So a slight points advantage here for red. Their To the Death will wear off before the blue team's To the Death wears off. We're just going to stay zoomed in here. We'll see some of the sad faces. It looks like the sad face... Oh, it looks like red's winning. It looks like red is definitely winning this. We see a ton of sad faces from blue. All these marches that are sprinting home, they're all sad-faced marches. So red's looking really good here, right? Oh yeah, red's just cleaning it up. Just absolutely cleaning it up. And this is why you kind of wanted to skip mid if you're blue. You know? Yeah, if you're blue, this is the worst case scenario. And now they're sending back to mid. This is crazy. This is crazy. If you're blue, you've got a 3,500 point lead. If you're blue, you have a 3,500 point lead. If they return this arc, it's 500. But look at these guys could have been working the sides. They could have been working the sides. So blue needs to attack at this point. They need to gather and they need to attack. They've lost their desert altar. Wow, what a big flip here. This might be a game-winning flip here. Look at this Attila Subutai rally. Oh no, this was the Attila David garrison. The Scipio Ivar with slightly more troops. Look at no swarm. Look at this. The one player with the clutch jump out, but it's not enough. The Scipio Ivar just won this fight 2-1. A 2-1 trade flipping this building with nobody around. And that might be the match right there. That might be enough for the match. Now look, there's still 9 minutes left. We still have 9 minutes left in this match. Blue has been the dominant team on the sides. They're winning the side game by 4,000 points. So if they can flip some buildings, they've got a shot at it. They've flipped a couple outposts. This is good. This is what they have to do. This is what Blue has to do. They're going heavy. They're going heavy on this lane. But the rally gets swarmed down. The rally gets swarmed down here. So Blue is looking for answers. They're just trying to find answers wherever they can see them on the map. And we also have to factor in the monster, guys. We have to factor in this monster because this gives you a points boost. Hasn't spawned yet, but it gives you a 15% point boost for 4 minutes. So if one team can get a monster and then deny the other team, that's going to be some points that they grind, some extra points they grind. And if you're Blue at this point, you have to grind some extra points. Look at this, though. Look at the aggressive return of this arc. Just going to the desert altar. Just not messing around. GG Apollo just not messing around. He's just going to walk it to the desert altar in a war zone. So the Battle of the House of Targaryen has lived up to the billing. We've got a really close match here. Really, really close match between House Targaryen in blue and House of Targaryen in red. And House of the Dragon Episode 2 is going to be showing up on your TVs later this evening. So Arc gets returned, and now we see the score as it is. 800-point lead for OTR. That's a very small lead. Very small lead. And the points are even, too. The points are even per minute. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you're OTR has been playing defense this whole game. I think they're going to do that again. Like, look at these choices, you know? Like, this rally, 1.3 million rally. This player here, blame Yeshuo Pilot. Yeah. I mean, if OTR loses this game, we might have to blame this pilot because they're pushing. They're pushing when they don't really have to. They're pushing when they don't really have to. Like, if you're red, you can just play defense. If you're red, you can play defense and win. A little gathering wouldn't hurt. And look at this. Blue's going for both monsters again. And you know, listen. A 15% point boost to points is... It's like 100 points a minute, roughly, at their current score. So 100 points a minute by 4 minutes, that's 400 points. That's half the differential right now. That's half the differential. So if Blue team can just capture both monsters and flip like a couple buildings, which they keep flipping these outposts, they've got a chance. Blue still has a chance here. They have to flip a building or two. Looks like they have a good shot at flipping this desert altar right now. Reigns need to get in. Reigns need to get in. This player here with the Achilles, if they're not in this building, they need to throw that Achilles in. This garrison is very low. Now, the white numbers aren't too bad. And there it goes. It gets flipped. So big flip for 2983. They are still in this match. And, like, this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, why attack? Like, this player, blame Yasuo Pilot. Why was this player not here? Why did they not go to the desert altar and defend, guys? Like, this is, you know, this is what drives me nuts as an arc lead, is I'm like the player choices can literally decide the match. Like, they can decide the match. Now, they get the building back quickly, okay? But you see the points. Look at the points. Oh, no. OTR's in deep trouble. Did they lose other buildings? They lost their shrine here, too. They lost the shrine here. They lost the sky. The sky altar just got flipped, too. So blue team, or red team just... I think they're going to lose. I think this game is going to go blue team's way. Red team just could not defend their buildings. And, like, the monsters are getting taken by blue. So blue has already taken the other monster, right? They've already taken the other monster. That's why they have the buff around their their marches. So now they're going to try and take this one as well and deny that to red. Red's going to YOLO it. They do have to YOLO this. Red does have to YOLO this. Red's only chance in this match is to YOLO this Anubis right here. I don't think they got it, though. I don't think they got it. You can see who wins it up on this scroll here, but I just never remember to check the scroll. All right, so blue team, they now have the lead. They've got a 400-point lead. Three minutes left in this match, and if you're red team, you don't have a lot of answers because you have not taken blue buildings this whole match. Like, red team has barely taken any buildings this whole match, and they just like heavily committed to the monster, which they didn't win, and then didn't take their own building. So it's just kind of like a team that's been in the wrong place at the wrong time too often if you're red. That's part of what's happening here. More so, though, I just like how blue played. I love the pressure that blue has put on in this match. It is not easy to put this much pressure on a team, but then also never lose your own buildings. 2983, they have had their foot on the gas this whole match, and it has really disrupted OTR. And I like it, man. I like it. I mean, it's every lane. Like, every lane has had trouble. I mean, maybe the Shrine of War has been held the most, but we've also seen coordinated attacks on the Shrine of War. The two altars have been the worst. The altars have been flipped the most of any buildings. And that's what's led to this occupation differential. It's now a 6,000 point lead in occupation score for blue. And they've just done a very good job of taking buildings. They've done a really good job of taking buildings. Yeah, interesting that both teams have players at home. That's actually crazy. At this point, everyone should have teleported. So, not sure what happened. I don't think we saw Outpost or Obelisks get flipped very often. I mean, 2983 has only teleported 29 times. Like, at this point, you definitely have had 30 teleports in the match, so... Yeah, kind of interesting. I'm not sure why both teams have people in the start zone. At this point, everyone should be out. Sam, how's it going, man? Sam's saying that Red's fumbling the bag. I agree that they fumbled the bag, but I mean... It's tough to deal with this much pressure. I think the biggest thing is that they just didn't fill their garrisons, right? Like, if you have full garrisons, this whole thing plays out so differently. Because it's like so much harder to flip the buildings. Like, you have to have so many more marches to flip the buildings if it's full. But really a great match to cast, because to me, this is like typical Arc right here, right? Like, this is like... The mistakes that are being made in this match are the mistakes that get made in so many Arc matches. And the good plays, the good teamwork that's being shown here is really all you can ask for from a normal Arc team that doesn't practice a ton, you know? Because blue was just aggressive, and it worked. They got the job done with their aggression. Oh, blue doesn't have subs, so they had 29 for a long time. Okay. Yeah, but that shouldn't affect how many teleports they have, right? They should still have enough teleports for GG Gary over here to get in. Yeah, so sneaky tactics being cast here by blue to try to help them with this fight. They're looking pretty solid, though. No rally, full garrison. They've extended this lead now to 3K. What was a very close match the whole way has ballooned out of control here at the end, as House-Targaryen from 2983 putting their imprint on the Osiris League with a big win against their rivals from House-Targaryen here. And there it is. Victory for 2983. MG King Legacy S with 214,000 points. A much lower score than earlier. I forget who the MVP was earlier. I think it was Kenshin from AB. He had way more, 270K. So there we go. There is the final statistics here. Very little gathering from either team. Close ratio by the end. it was really the occupation score for House Targaryen that won it. OTR skipping the first arc. You wonder what would have happened if OTR had just gone for that first arc. But a very good match. Very good match here. And let me see. I'll get the webcam back up here. It's probably going to be off kilter again. Oops. Oh, it's fine. All right, let me jump in. I'll do the Alliance quiz later. It looks like Chunky German was asking what the Zenith looks like. Good question. I honestly forgot that Zenith was even going on. Yeah, this is how it looks. So we got a couple people pushing, you know. Oh, and Umbra's pushing as well, so that could get spicy. Yeah, I mean, listen, we got a pretty good continent, guys. We got a pretty good continent here. Not too bad. %. Oh, that's a cool looking skin, man. I haven't looked at the skin too much. Yeah, they're going in this direction now with like different like vehicles. They're basically making castle skins that are vehicles. Even in Call of Dragons, the most recent skin was like this Mad Max Fury Road type of post-apocalyptic vehicle. But now they got the what do you call these? The Zeppelin here, the blimp. Cool looking skin, not like the greatest skin, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. The highest score in 2885 is 10 million. I mean, our continent is like good, not great, basically, is what I would say. But I mean, it looks like there's 11 people competing for 10 spots. So these scores are going to go up. I'm sure these scores are going to go up quite a bit. I think maybe Shredder and CK will hold on. I think they're probably going to be safe, but I would imagine third place ends up being about 19 million, honestly. I honestly don't know what seed any of these other kingdoms are, honestly. I think 1774 is like a pretty dead kingdom. They used to be really good, but I think they're like pretty small. And I honestly don't know enough about these other kingdoms because you know, our continent used to be different. Like our continent used to be amazing, and then like they changed the continent because I guess some kingdoms got merged or whatever. So now this continent is not quite as good. Not quite as good. It's beautiful if you see the animation. Yeah, but isn't the animation quite hard to get? Like, don't only like 1 or 2 people get the animation? Is this the animation you're talking about, HGK? I mean, it's all right. You know, they're obviously going in like a more masculine direction with a lot of these castle skins, which I know is something that Chisgle's been pushing for a while. So like I like the direction. I think they're right to go in a more masculine direction. But I don't know, this one's like not my favorite. It's not, I don't know. It's like a little too much in a way. Like it's not just a blimp, but it's like a shark-shaped blimp, and there's like a boat beneath it. And it's like gold. I don't know. It's like a little too much. It's like, it's too straightforward in a way. I don't know. Like, I would say this one looks better, honestly. To me, this one looks better for sure. I don't know what this is for. Is this the OL skin or something? What is this? How do you get this? Oh, it's from the Fountain of Dreams event. Okay, never mind. I think this one looks better than the Zeppelin, personally. I like the steam. I like them going in a steampunk direction, though, right? Like the Call of Dragons skin is like a steampunk direction skin, so I like the steampunk direction for sure. Is this OL? I guess this is the OL skin for this year. Probably, right? I assume this is the OL skin for this season. It looks all right, not great. HGK says his top one is Sandstorm, and number 2 is Esmeralda Hall. Sandstorm is might be my number 1 as well. Sandstorm looks awesome. Let me look at Esmeralda Hall. Is this what you mean by Sandstorm? The Sands of Time? This one is awesome. Yeah, this one is really good. I love this one. I mean, it's so good, too. 16% troop attack is, like, amazing. Sam wants to save for Zenith. Honestly, this one is dope as hell. I love how this one looks. The Supreme Strife one. The stats on it aren't good, but, like, the Supreme Strife skin is dope. The only problem with the Supreme Strife skin is that the coolest one is this one. Like, the turquoise is the best color, and so, like, if you win Supreme Strife more often, you get, like, worse colors. Like, imagine you're such a badass that you win Supreme Strife 4 times, and you're stuck with this orange. This really mediocre orange color. When you started with the friggin' turquoise, bro. This thing is awesome. The first one is, like, dude, just win Supreme Strife 1 and be done with it. So what's the other one you said? Esmeralda Hall? Let me look for that one. Let me just search by Legendary set, Custom Premium, or whatever. I'll just do Legendary. Yeah, Summoner of the Supreme is mad good. I don't know what Esmeralda's Hall is, though. I mean, the boat's still good. The boat is a little dated, I guess, now, but it's still pretty good. Oh, this one? Dude, I was going to say this one. HGK, you have good taste, man. When we were clicking through it, I was going to say I had an old 30-day skin that I really liked, and it was this one. Yeah, this one was cool, man. I do like how this one looks. I used this during... I used that during... I forget what war I used it during, but I used it during like a pretty like long war that we had. Yeah, this one's good for sure. Esmeralda Shade. This is almost like a... it's almost like a upgrade or a new version of Melk Abbey, right? Melk Abbey was like one of the original badass Cav skins, right? Where is it? No, not that. I mean, Babylonian Guardians is good for sure. Yeah, so Melk Abbey was like the original awesome looking Cav skin. Esmeralda Hall does remind me of that a bit. It just like just because of like the trees around it and like the golden dome. You know what I mean? It's almost like an upgrade to Melk Abbey, which I like. That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I'm never gonna get one of these Zenith skins, so it is what it is. I just rock the 30-day skins, which I think right now I don't have any. I think I don't have any 30-day skins right now, actually. Let me check, though. I might have one. Yeah, what do I have? If I filter by Legendary, what do I have? I've got this old Atlantis skin that I just have never used. Okay, I've got the 20... Yeah, I've got this. I got a 15-day skin on this thing. So I've got this 15-day skin... And I've got a 30-day skin for this. I've got a ton. Never mind. I've got a ton of shit. So I got two... Yeah, I've got 2 castle skins I can use in a war. I'll probably use one of them in this next KVK, in all honesty. I think there's a damn good chance I'm going to use this in our next KVK. This one's not bad. You know, this is like before they went in the masculine direction. But, like, I think this one's cool. I like this one, honestly. It's just, like, so weird, you know? It's like a statue. It's more of a statue than a house. But then you've got, like, a friggin' lake behind it. The colors are cool. The foliage is cool. I think this one's pretty good. Gilded Pavilion. This one is, like, a very masculine direction. A very steampunk direction. Not amazing. This one is kind of in the same boat as the Zeppelin here. I don't know. It's just like a little too much. It's a little too much, you know? Like, this is more subtle. This is more like World of Warcraft. I just think they should go into like a World of Warcraft direction with it, you know? But it's also fine that they mix it up. This one's not bad. Oh, what is this? Is this, oh, this is the Global Champions one. Yeah, I mean, the ones that shoot up and show, like, the kingdom name are badass. Like, you can't deny that, like, the 2489 one when they won Grand Prix is badass. Because, like, they're still in 2489, right? So it's like you literally, like, your own kingdom number shoots up when you're, like, in war. This one's pretty, this one, wait, which one is it? This one, I like this one too. Call of Eternity. Pretty old, but it's pretty cool. With the new system, I could get a skin. I always forget how the new system works, man. Like one of these, you mean? Yeah, I guess I could. I mean, I guess I could if I really focused on it. But the thing is, HGK, is that, like, basically it costs more to get one of those tokens, which I would have to, like, build up those tokens for a long time. It costs, like, a lot more to get those tokens than it does to just get like a 15 or 30-day skin, right? Like, look at how cheaply people are getting a 30-day skin, right? Like Sibeli, for example, she's an archer player. So she's going to get this 30-day skin, and then she can use it for a whole KVK. Like, it's cheap. It's really cheap, you know? Yeah, old skins, you go 8 coins and then 1 coin for 5 million, right? Like, so you have to spend 5 million to get a coin, but you can literally get a 30-day skin for less. So that's kind of how I do it, you know? That's kind of how I do it. But listen, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out. This is great to have so many people on. Great to have the chat being really active. It's been a long stream, and I do need to prepare an arc strategy for our match later today. And I just need to kind of, like, chill out a little bit. So I am gonna end the stream here. Let me see if anybody else is streaming. Let me try to I should raid somebody with this many people. So let me see who else is online here. Let's see what we got. Is this player, does he speak English? No. Let's see if I can raid this guy. We'll raid somebody else who was doing Osiris League coverage, so that should be fine. It's gonna take me a minute to figure this out. Let's see. All right, we got to get this stuff done before the day's over. Nothing there. Whoa, what's this? Nothing? I mean, listen, guys, we just got 2 legendary armaments from Travel Quest. That's pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can raid anybody just because, like, some of my settings are not loading. So that's too bad. But yeah, listen, everybody, I really appreciate everybody hanging out on the stream. Thank you again for Thank you again to Big Daddy for the dono. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll do this again next Sunday for sure. And everybody have a good end of your weekend. And until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.